technology and practical thinking can help address real world conservation challenges related to human wildlife conflict and habitat management, particularly in the face of rising developmental pressures. The participating institutions in this hackathon include the Indira Gandhi National Forest Academy, Central Academies for State Forest Service, Dehradun, Coimbatore, and Barnihar, and FRI deemed university. The event was announced on 20th September 2024, and 48 hours were given to participants to submit the solutions to the three problem statements. The three problem statements are given as follows. How do we prevent wild animals from moving into human habitated areas? How do we deal with lantana infested areas? And how do we minimize elephant deaths from collisions with trains? The two most promising entries were forwarded by each of the participating institutions, and we have with us a total of 10 entries for this competition. Before proceeding towards the competition, it is imperative that we welcome our distinguished jury members. I'd like to first give a brief introduction about our respected jury members. The distinguished jury for this event consists of the following eminent personalities. Shri Soumitra Das Gupta, IFS, West Bengal cadre, 1989 batch. Sir retired as the former PCCF and Head of Forest Force, Government of West Bengal, as also Additional Director General Wildlife, Government of India. Sir also functioned as the ex-officio Director of Wildlife Crime Control Bureau of India. He also held the position of CITES Management Authority of India, Whaling Commissioner of India. After superannuation from service, Sri Das Gupta is presently mentoring the WWF. He is advising the UNDP on MOFCC project and working in the interim secretariat of the International Big Cat Alliance. And he is also a member of the Regional Empowered Committee of the MOEFCC. Our second distinguished personality here is Shri Devash Ranjan, who has joined us online. Sir retired as ADG Wildlife, MOEF and CC Ministry. Sir specializes in agroforestry, ecotourism, and natural resource management. The third distinguished jury member amongst us is Dr. Ruchi Badola, who is the Dean, Wildlife Institute of India. Ma'am is joining us online. She is known for her exemplary work in community participation for biodiversity conservation. She also coordinates the Ganga Biodiversity Conservation Initiative under the Namami Gange program, focusing on species recovery in the river through Ganga Praharis. Our fourth distinguished jury member is Shri Mahib Gupta, IFS, Maharashtra cadre, 1990 batch. He retired as the Chief Wildlife Warden from Maharashtra. He has a rich experience in wildlife and human interface management. And our fifth distinguished jury member is Shri Sameer Sinha, who is the respected Chief Wildlife Warden of Uttarakhand. Sir is a 1990 batch IFS officer from Uttarakhand cadre, an eminent wildlifer. Sir specializes in wildlife and protected area management and law enforcement and has various publications to his credit. And our sixth distinguished jury member is Shri Sunil Sharma, IFS Maharashtra cadre, 2012 batch. He's the Joint Director Wildlife and Assistant Inspector General, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Sir specializes in wildlife and protected area management. Now, before we move further into the program, I would like to invite respected Director, IGNFA, Dr. Jagmohan Sharma sir, to kindly give his opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Harsimran, for that excellent invocation of this competitive event and very appropriate introduction of jury members. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the moments which put energy in us and make us think and find solutions. We understand the country at present is gaining huge importance in different areas. And a report on Asian Power Index, which is released by an Australian think tank, now says that in Asian affairs, India is the third most influential country. And one of the assessments they make is about the resilience of the country. And therein, one of the indicators is about the resources that you have. So status of resource in this country, which you are charged with, is an important subject, which is gaining beyond the importance that climate change is attracting to it. So a huge congratulations to all of you who are present here today in physical mode and on online mode. You guys have tried to address the questions that were raised. They are the most burning questions in the sector today. The sector has been trying to address them for decades now. Some incremental solutions have been found out, but it appears we require fresh application of mind. And that is what this occasion, this competition gave opportunity for. I congratulate each one of you who has either participated directly or have become acquainted of those questions and have tried to think about them in your own private times. I am so much more thankful for others who went one extra mile. They have tried to articulate solutions on these questions. And I understand 10 entries that have been received, they are of very high quality and value. There is a competition today and a difficulty for the jury, I would think, to identify as to which are the first three. It is, I think, only the limitation of choosing three that perhaps we would not be able to reward all 10. But the rewards are beyond what this competition provides. The rewards in the training institutions are also in terms of your involvement, participation, your overall impression that you create, and hence you are awarded for it in different evaluations, including your conduct, your growth, your personality, and all of that. So we are so happy, so thankful, and full of energy to listen to the solutions that would be pitched today by the young officers, the fresh entrants to the service. They have thought, and there were no limitations to think what they could think. I would think they have suggested certain technological solutions, certain practical options solutions, and they have been very successful in articulating their solutions. And we have a definite idea of putting all these entries, the 10 of them, as a small publication after little refining them, so that they become the base papers for anyone else who becomes interested in working on those areas. I'm so happy to be amongst you today, to be talking about this subject. IGNFA has taken effort to articulate the whole hackathon competition, and we would aspire to hold such competitions annually and make it an event where anyone through the country or from anywhere else in the world may want to participate and help us in developing the solutions for the issues that have come up because of the success that you had in this sector. Your sector is so much successful. The animal populations, we are talking about elephant directly here, but if you talk about any megafauna population in the country today, you would find that you have more than 60% of the global populations in your country. And similar is the status of the forest cover mapping that you do, which no one else in the world does in a cycle of 2 years. So a very, very successful sector, despite all the constraints, including the most fundamental constraint of population increase from 40 to 140 crore today. So you all deserve a big congratulations, and you are entering into the service at a point when you are so much enabled with technology, with thinking, with documentation, with a lot of experience. So it's the best time to enter into the environment sector area, and when globally the sector has gained the importance that it has. I'm so happy that the illustrious jury is there with us today, and these are the officers, these are the experts who have been in sector for for more than 3 decades, continuously working, and they have their own sense, they have their experience, they have their own approach on any of these issues. But we think today your proposals are going to make some additional improvements in what we have been able to think, or it will be entirely fresh. It will be so new to us, and we would want to adopt them all. So with these words, I invite the participating teams. I request them to pitch their solutions in about 5 minutes' time, and then the jury, if has any clarifications to seek, those clarifications can be sought, and you will make your best effort to answer those questions. It will be such a pleasant situation when a professional discussion will be happening. There is a suggestion on an issue, and then that suggestion is scrutinized, and we try to mold that solution in order that we are able to adapt it and adopt it in our working in the forestry departments in routine. And that is what is about, is the professionalism. So I congratulate you as professionals in this sector. I welcome you to make your pitches, the participating teams, and I seek your attention I would request you to give your full attention to what is being presented here today, because that gives you an opportunity to think more on the subject. So thank you very much, Harsimran, for inviting me to initiate the program. And I'm very thankful to one of the jury members who is physically present here today, along with his wife, my dear batchmate, Shri Samir Sinha, who's been in this sector, particularly wildlife. He is a very varied experience, and we are happy he's there amongst us present today. Thank you so much, everyone. We look forward to listen to what pitches are made. All the best.
Thank you so much, sir, for your motivating remarks. Now, before the participating teams pitch their solutions, I would like to reiterate the rules and evaluation criteria for the clarification. Each team will have 5 minutes to make the presentation before the jury, followed by a 10-minute question and answer session. 6 teams are making the presentations in person, while 4 teams from CASFOS Barnihat and CASFOS Coimbatore are present online. Solutions will be evaluated based on innovation, practicality, scalability, technology integration, and overall impact. We have a total of 10 teams, and we will be inviting them in sequence. I now take this opportunity to invite team number 1 from CASFOS Barnihat to give their presentation. The team consists of Payal Mathur, Ajay Satwan, and Kamal Chand. They are going to pitch their solution for as to how do we minimize elephant deaths from collisions with trains. So over to team number 1.
Hello, good afternoon, all of you. I have some problem regarding network connection. So can you please take the second team first and we can join 5 or 10 minutes later? There is so much of network issue. Actually, we are inside forest, so there is some problem.
Okay.
Sorry for the inconvenience. Can I please be the second team or the third team, sir? If not a problem.
Second team is second team also facing some problems?
No, sir, second team is not facing. They are ready. We'll give after
Okay.
the second team. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
So we now invite team number 2 from CASFOS Barnihat. The team members are Tarun Meena and Naveen Narayana. And they would be going to pitch their solution for how to prevent wild animals from moving into human habitated areas. Over to team number 2.
Start. A very good afternoon to all respectable jury members, guests, and all participants. With the permission and the blessing of all, I would like to start our presentation. So, myself Naveen Narania,
Myself, Tarun Meena.
and we are a team from Castos Barnia, and we have the solution we are proposing. It utilizes the nature-based sound-based system for deterring and repelling the animals which is involved in the operating, because there is a huge economic losses can be observed, and it creates a address. The conventional way requires a lot of time. So we have to propose a solution which utilizes, because in nature what happens, there is a density which copy the sound or mimic the sound to threaten and to deter or stray away the animals for their nesting sites, for their habitats. And the same thing we will try to implement in the artificial system by utilizing the sensors, infrared waves, the cameras for detection, identification, and later on generating the response utilizing the speakers. So in this is not only a standalone sound system, it's the visual senses, olfactory senses, and as well as auditory senses, which utilizes the infrasonic sound and ultrasonic sounds. Our principle is based on creating an uncomfortable situation for operating animals in eco-friendly way or with a non-invasive manner. There are three steps we utilized in this model. One is the simulation core, which is useful for wild or bear, porcupine, ungulates. The second one is for infrasonic species. We can sense infrasonic sound. In case of elephant, which can sense up to 6 miles, it listens by the feet because it has the passing carpals in its foot muscles, which is able to perceive that sensation, infrared sensations. And the third category is ultrasonic sounds, which is useful for rodents, kangaroos, eels, and other species.
Our sound-based systems, Naveen, are not standalone speakers. They use different deterrents based on the level of threat to agriculture fields and human habitations. The working of our sound-based system is this: use the infrared as well as microphone and photographic images. And that AI processor determines the species. Based on the species, we use different sound deterrents. As Naveen said, it's a wild boar use and it's not like they are using only to scare off one habitation. We also combining different deterrents with our sound-based system. I would like to explain this sound-based system using 3 stages. Stage 1. If an animal is within 100-meter range, we will use only sound to scare off. If it's within the 30-meter range of our device, we will use light and sound combination. If it's within 10-meter range, we will use light, sound, and as well as nature-based chemicals like chili pepper or chemicals made from predator fecal matter like pyrazine from wolf urine. So this is how our sound-based system will work. And infrasonic and ultrasonic, we know that it scare of animals, but sometimes it also mentally disturbs wild animals. So we are proposing that we are not using ultrasonic and infrasonic for long period. These sound waves frequencies will be used for short periods in combination with other different voices. Now we would like to play a video which is there in
It will be helpful to understand all the things.
in a short manner.
For example, there is a robot, mechanized wolf robot has been made in Japan, Takigawa region, where they are utilizing this robot to deter all animals like bears, wild dog, and many others.
And now I would also like to give the cost of various devices. Mechanized robot cost 4,70,000 for per square kilometer, and repellent system, sound-based repellent system cost 7,70,000 with GSM facility. Ultrasonic device cost 8,62,000 for per square kilometer protection, and infrasonic device cost 10,31,620 rupees to protect the per square kilometer of area. Now we will like to end our presentation with the video that we have submitted. It is with the name Group 2 Tarun Meena. Can you play it for us? Sir, are we audible, sir? Sir,
Seems that
Yes, you are audible. Please continue.
are you audible?
sir, please play video that we have shared with you.
Sir, it is a humble request that we have submitted a video. This video we played so that we can effectively present over all the summary of the presentation. It's only 1 minute video. Screen it allow.
Sir, are we audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible. You are audible.
Sir, it's our humble request that we have submitted a video on YouTube, which we have made. Can you play it for us and for the audience, sir?
The video is on.
On, okay, sir.
Video is on.
हर सिमरन जी we can't hear the video or neither see nor hear.
Yeah.
Same is the case here also. We,
So just give a minute. We are looking into it.
we are unable to now look something. Okay.
We are looking into it, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mahip Gupta. I think the video is not playing, so can we go directly to the question answer session?
Sir, we have shared a video in the chat box. If, sir, you can open it. Sir. Sir, we have shared the video in the chat box. It's
So I have a request to make to the jury members. Since the video is not audible, I would like to request all the jury members that because our participants from Task Force Barney Hart are on training, there are some network issues. So whatever write-ups they have presented, that would be considered by the jury present here. The same may also be taken consideration by other jury members. Because of network issues, this is our request to them. And now I would request our respected jury members to please start with question and answers to team number 2.
Right. I will begin the questioning. The first question is to the team is, you said that there will be cameras which will identify the animals, and then the right kind of sound will be played to this played through the speakers. And if required, some light system is also there. And if they come too close, then there will be spraying of chili powder and things like that also. But uh, will there be cameras fixed which will identify which kind of animals are coming near? And secondly, will there be a control room and somebody will be required to be sitting there all the time to see the feed of the cameras and then activate the particular system which is required to be activated? Or it will be an automated system by which will detect itself what kind of animals are there and what solutions are need to be started or initiated.
Yes, sir. So these systems, so almost all the systems that we have proposed are standalone systems. They will process every data at the place itself, and so the cameras that will be
Basically, sir,
that
they are provided with the GSM technology. When the animal encounters in the camera, the photo will be identified using an algorithm, and from the database, the appropriate sound will be extracted, and the message is sent through the SIM with respect to the corresponding authorities like Air Force, ACM, and other field staffs, so that they may be ready in case of emergency situation.
they are we have proposed standalone system, but they can a control room can also be set up, and the cost will increase.
Basic cost is 4,70,000 for the mechanized robot, full robot. But if you want to add the GSM technology and the setup,
Your voice is not clear. There is some net problem, it seems.
Yes. So we have proposed the 3 cost model. The basic cost model is 17,000, which has 2 cameras. So both of them comparatively take 360 also introduced GSM technology, which is utilized for messaging. So the message to the corresponding officers and the staff members will be sent so that they can take immediate response in case of emergency situations. And the flashlights, LED flashlights, sounds, and paper spray are on the automation stand. So the robot automatically do it.
Your standalone cameras and your standalone robots, they will be able to identify the animals by themselves, and then the appropriate system will be initiated. You want to say that?
Yes, sir. What you have just said, sir.
Team number 2, please
The
respond.
ratings.
Are we audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, yes, sir. On the spot, the system will identify the animal.
Because there is a huge database.
Team number 2, you are not clearly audible. Please keep the mic close to you
Sir,
and try to speak clearly.
uh, sir, system will identify the animal. Sir.
Okay.
So, it's a very easy, it's a very easy processing. No, advanced technology solution is required to identify an animal, sir. Not differentiating the individual of a particular species with another individual. We are only just identifying the species. So, our answer was audible, sir.
I have a
Sir,
humble
our answer was
submission.
audible, sir.
Okay, I understand that you are saying that the species will be identified by a computer that you will be fixing there. It will have a database. It will compare the pictures the cameras are receiving with the database, and then it will identify the animals. This is what you are trying to say. I understand.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
So, Tarunji, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Yeah, actually, there is some issue with the connectivity. So I understood the discussions that you had with Mr. Mahit Gupta.
Yes, sir.
So now you want to merge AI along with some deterrence. Is that what you are trying to impress upon? But as we are supposed to assess your model on 6 parameters, I would like to ask one very simple question to you as to how well do you think that the solution that you are proposing will be integrating the technology with the practical issues. What is your understanding? Please.
Sir, our understanding is that many of these systems have been tested and proven effective because we are not just using one method to scare off animals. We are using a combination. In the sound, we will use different sounds. For example, one system I have proposed, in which it is animal intrusion detection and repel system, in which more than 50 types of sounds will be used. Some of the sounds will be of predators, some of the sounds will be of humans, some of the sounds will be of vehicle, train, etc. To scare off animals. So it's a combination of multiple things. It's not just one thing. So even to prevent habituation of these devices, we have used different techniques. Like we are proposing in our that we will also use nature-based chemicals. So the habituation will be will it is possible that habituation may take place, but that habituation will take a long time.
Okay. I got your point, Tarun Meena and Naveen Narania. My best wishes. My best wishes to you. Thank you.
Hi, Tarun. This side, Vibhas Ranjan. As you rightly mentioned in the beginning, that this technique is being used in Japan. Where is the innovations? Number one. And number two, the second parameter of the evaluation is scalability. Do you think that this technology would be scale up to minimize the human wildlife conflict?
So yes, in case of low cost service, it's basic service.
Team two, I have a team two. Please kindly listen. I have a request to make to you. If you are facing any problem in giving answers or you're not audible, you can give your brief responses in WebEx chat.
No, no,
Yeah,
If you're not audible, you
that
can
will that will be more appropriate. Yeah.
you can give your answer in the WebEx chat. Also, we have paucity of time, so
yes, yes, sir. I understand, sir. Sir, are we audible?
you're audible, but the connection is getting disturbed in between. So just reply to the answer, the question asked in the WebEx chat.
On the chat box.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Tarun. And Naveen.
Thank you, sir.
Can I come in, please? Yeah.
Sure, sir.
Thank you. First of all, my compliments to you. I am really impressed by your approach of combining olfactory, gustatory, and auditory signals, and I think that's a very interesting approach. I have one quick comment. The first comment is that your paper that I have gone through does not take into account anything that is being done in India on the ground. So it's almost like you're beginning from a clean slate, which may or may not be correct. Actually, it's not correct because a lot of different approaches are being taken all over the country. So I think it would be useful, and that I think that's not just for your team, that would be appropriate for other teams also, to also take into account what is actually happening on the ground, because then we need to learn from those experiences also before you propose something new. The one question that I have is that your paper, you talk about infrasonic sounds to be used to generate distressed calls indicating presence of a poacher in the proximity. Can you please expand on this? Thank you.
Uh, yeah, uh, was a scientist. It's,
Team number 2, please
he,
please reply in the WebEx chat because you are not clearly audible.
Yeah, I think that's okay. I can wait for your response on the chat box.
Sir will consider your answer. So my request
yes,
to jury members
sir.
is Team
Sir,
2, please
sir,
just give your answer in the WebEx chat. We are short of time. And my request to jury members is that we have a time limit to adhere. So let us try to restrict our questions in 10 minutes. So you please give your answer in the chat box. Sir will consider
yes, sir.
it.
Sir, I'm replying in the chat box.
So now I would like to invite team number 3 from FRI deemed university to give their presentation. Team number 3 consists of the following members: Vani, Rajat, and Yogesh DR. They are going to pitch their solution for how to minimize elephant deaths from collision with trains. Over to you, team number 3. One of the members who is online has shared their screen. You are requested to please stop sharing it.
Hello.
Do you know, according to MOFC data 2018 to 2023, 75 elephants have died due to the elephant train collision.
Really? Isn't anything done to prevent such fatal accidents?
To tackle this, a railway barricade, rope barricade, elephant-proof trench, and the solid fencing have already been implemented. Now the question arises why they are not well and why they are creating a barrier. Can't we think about any solution for this?
Well, automatic retractable barricade system will surely be an innovative solution.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here. We, Rajat Wani and Yogesh, student of Wood Science and Technology from FRI deemed to be university, here to represent an innovative idea that is the automatic retractable barricade system.
This system it draws inspiration from French model of automatic bollard system. Now let's delve into the working of ARBS. This system is proposed to be a cage-like barricade which will be placed alongside the railway track. This system will remain under the ground when not in use. When the train approaches the designated area, a trigger will cause the barricade to move above the ground. When the train leaves the designated area, another trigger will cause the barricade to move back under the ground. To make this entire system possible, a few technologies will be working in conjugation with each other. TCOD, Track Circuit Operating Device, seismic sensors, railway signal inputs will work as the sensors to grab the data regarding the approaching train. This data will be sent over the wired network to the processor. The processor will affirm that the train is present or not. Then the data will be further transferred to actuators. Firstly, infrasound waves emitter and elephant repellent will work to deter the elephant away from the railway track. Next, hydraulic lift will work to lift the barricade above the ground surface. Then the train will pass the designated area and it will cross the designated area. Another trigger caused by the TCOD will make the barricade go back under the ground. Please move slide. This is a small illustration to show how it is supposed to work.
Now, the question arises how we are going to implement this. We need resources and the technology. The first one is the physical infrastructure. We need strong concrete and the metal barricade that will make a cage-like structure. The hydraulic system to lift the barricade up. And the detection technology, we need artificial intelligence and the Internet of the Things that will work in a conjugate system. And the track circuit operating device, that is the TCOD, it will detect the presence or absence of a train, and the seismic sensors that will be able to find where the elephant is located. Power is very necessary. That we are going to use electricity. Backup battery system is for the support. Human resources are required. Elephant repellent that include the chili powder, garlic, or the citrus extract is used to avoid the elephant being caught in between the barricades, and these can be used along with the IoT before emerging the barricade. Last, the low frequency sound emitter, they are irritating to elephant but inaudible to human. They can be strategically placed along the railway track and that will deter the elephant.
Now let's talk about the advantages. This system provides a lot of benefits. For example, it is extendable to any length along the railway track. Next, it is reliable as it does not cause any human error. Next, it reduces manual labor and it is customizable according to animal behavior. It is a long-term solution once it's installed.
The factors to be considered, the solution need high installation cost. There will be the removal of vegetation along the railway track and the technical malfunctioning can be seen in the rare cases.
Now let's talk about the estimated cost per kilometer. The concrete posts, hydraulic press and other expenses combined is estimated to be around 2.6 crore per kilometer. That's a wrap up on our presentation and now we are open for any queries.
So can I come in?
Yes, sir, you can come in.
Yeah. First of all, compliment to Vani, Rajat, and Yogesh. The ideas are brilliant. But I'm just keeping my question very simple because I came from a Kada, West Bengal, which faces this problem, still continues to face this problem. So what the solution is very innovative, but what do you think? How far it is practical in its implementation on ground? this appears to me a little urban, management type of control, but in a rural or forest area for a vast stretch of, say, hundreds of kilometers, and that also not in a straight line. It's a meandering line due to which the elephant can't see the train and neither the train sees the elephant. How this is practical on ground? This is my simple question. Thank you.
So this system is very much practical. It is very much feasible as the data which is being transferred is transferred over the wired data. It doesn't require any internet. So the data can be transferred over a long distance. If optic fibers is used, data can be transferred in a very quick manner. And if the curvature is there in the railway track, the hydraulic lift and the barricade can be customized to meet that requirement.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I have two observations to make. Number one, the cost is prohibitive. You cannot spend 2.6 crores per kilometer for long stretches of railway lines that we have in our forest areas, as the other jury member also stated. And number two, if the animal is caught between the barricades, then what will happen? Suppose some animal is already sitting on the line, and from both the barricades come up, then it cannot even move out of the line. How this system is going to prevent that?
So to control that, we are using seismic sensors. They will detect the location of the animal, and they will find the animal if it is around the railway track, and that will send the seismic waves to the operator, and the operator will send the signal to train operator, and then that operator can reduce the speed or can control the train also.
So for the question that you asked, that if an elephant is caught in between the barricade, we are using an IoT operated system, which is elephant repellent as well as low frequency wave emitters. They will be started before the emergence of barricade and will irritate the elephant and make him move out of the way.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I have a question for the team.
Thank you. Asha, please, Samir. carry on.
Okay, first of all, my compliments, because the use of bollards for conflict mitigation is something really innovative, and I compliment you for the idea. I have just, because some of the questions have already been addressed by you. My question is that you understand, don't go too far to West Bengal, to Soumitra sir. Look just next to you in Rajaji. You're aware that the railway track runs for more than 10 kilometers through the dense forest. And it's not just that there are certain pockets which are corridors. It's a continuous patch of forest. So animals cross all along. So coming back to the first question by Soumitra sir, that the practicality of doing this all along instead of in certain segments, that's one. The other more grounded concern I have is, because this involves a lot of moving parts, because the bollards have to be raised and then lowered, that is going to be a huge maintenance heavy project, and particularly when operating in forest areas. Have you considered that also as part of the solution that you offer? Thank you.
Sir, when a new technology is introduced in any area, the installation cost will obviously be high. When it will be used over a time period, the cost will automatically go down, because more innovation and more addition will be done in this. So the solution to it can be the more prone area, which is more prone to the elephant and train collision, may be tested first for the lower cost, and then if it is found to be effective, 100% effective, it can be further increased.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
So if we take an example of Rajaji National Park, the seismic sensors are already placed over there. to detect the position or location of the elephant.
Yeah, soft pads, we're already working on that.
Yes.
But my question was, again, just to refresh, my question was basically that a system that involves a lot of heavy duty moving parts, because these are weighted and it has to deter animals like elephants. So my question was also that this will require a huge degree of maintenance, because we've seen bollards being used in urban situations that also require a lot of continuous maintenance. So have you factored that as part of the solution that you offer? That was my question.
Of
Thank you.
course, this system will require a bit of maintenance, and when the system is used, it will be a protection to elephant, which is of much larger importance than this minimal cost.
Good, thank you.
Okay. So thank you, Vani, Rajat, and Yogesh for excellent presentations. Using of optical fiber for deterring the animals or elephants along the railway track is being used since I think more than 4 or 5 years. And a project has been launched with the help of DRDO, Wildlife Institute of India, and the state of West Bengal to find out the feasibility and the scalability of the project with low cost. Are you aware on that?
So this project can be extended to any length of the railway track, and the data can be transferred through wired over the wired system.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. This is Sunil Sharma. Actually, what Vivasinghan sir was mentioning, it has already been tried in Alipurdwar in West Bengal. But one thing is not clear to me. Actually, this is a DAS system basically. Optical fiber is in use rather than your other systems. But even in that system, also message is related and signature of elephant is captured. Elephant is there. So seismic waves, you can assess that. But problem is to send a message of loco pilot. But I could not understand how will you integrate this with your variable come forward and how the DSM will be integrated. Can you elaborate?
Sir, can you please repeat the question?
Actually, my question is that what sir was mentioning, Vivasinghan sir was mentioning, it is already is in use in Alipurdwar in West Bengal. Even the issue there is that they can assess the movement of the elephant, but the issue is that to release the message to local pilot and the reaction time. But now you have also proposed here that apart from this system, some barricade will also come in picture. So is there any methodology you are going to integrate both the system? And further, when we are proposing for a solution, we need to see the maintenance cost and its practicability in the field. So do you comment on that?
Casfos, Bernhard, please mute themselves.
Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
I think the time limit for 10 minutes for questions is up. So team 3 may please proceed. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Before we move to the next team, I have some requests to make. All those members who have joined online are requested to please keep their mics off when others are speaking. Secondly, it is requested to all teams to stick to the time limit of 5 minutes. And the teams which will be connecting with us online are requested that they try to resolve the connectivity issues at their end so that we do not waste time. So without further ado, I would now like to invite team number 4 from IGNFA Dehradun. The team consists of Gaurav Lodha, Prabhakar Kumar, and Prithviraj KSV. And their topic is how to prevent wild animals from moving into human habitated areas. Team 4, please start with the presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Prithviraj, along with Gaurav and Prabhakar, will be presenting solutions to the given problem statement. How do we prevent wild animals from moving into human habitated areas? This is a serious issue. It is leading to loss of lives and damage to crops. In the last 6 years, Maharashtra government alone paid rupees 232 crores as compensation to crop loss caused by wild animals. So the solutions that we will be presenting is, the first one is the biomimetic repellents. We can have barrier crops. As you can see in this illustration, we have forest on one side and agricultural fields on the other side. In between, we can plant crops like chili, mint, etc., that herbivores usually avoid. So this prevents wild herbivores from spilling over into agricultural lands. We can have chemical and biological repellents. Wolf urine can be sprayed to prevent wild herbivores from entering into agricultural fields. ZAC treatment, deer away, it's a commercial solution that's available. That also it can be used to prevent the animals from entering into these agricultural lands. We can have edible and touch-based irritants. When the animals inhale or consume these solutions, they get irritated and move away from human-dominated areas. Fourthly, we have beehive fences. This is an eco-friendly way where the bees placed along the fences by their natural buzz and flight deter elephants from crossing over. This also provides a secondary income to the farmers.
The next solution is ultrasound deterrent. It works by emitting sound waves above 20,000 kilohertz frequency. These sound waves create an uncomfortable environment for animals, prompting the animals to move away from the area. For example, a frequency of approximately 35,000 kilohertz can be used to deter wild boars. It targets specific species without disturbing local people. Also, no physical harm is done to the animals. This slide shows the heartbreaking news of deer death from conflict. Such incidences can be reduced through anti-collision system. In this image, we can show that the railway track has been divided into sections. When a train enters a section, ultrasound deterrent in that section and the next section is activated. Red color shows the activated deterrents. From these deterrents, ultrasound waves are emitted, and this warns the nearby animals, in this case, the deer. They are alerted about the approaching train, and they have time to move away from the track. This does not require any human intervention. It's economical and suitable for on-ground implementation.
Next solution is decoy animals. These are realistic replicas programmed to mimic animal movement. So they can mimic simple or static movement parts of the animals. For example, this leopard can be deployed as a decoy to shoo away the herbivores and wild animals. And gore decoy can be used to drive monkeys and rodents away. Next is autonomous vehicles, which are both land-based and air-based. They can be used in animal deterrence, patrolling, and railway and highway monitoring. They detect the movement of animals using thermal sensors and computer vision. When they see an animal, they drive away the animal through flashlight, sounds, and repellent sprays. The whole system operates on the master-slave model of the robotics. In all the previous solutions, we have used technology like LiDAR, wireless communication, biochemistry, and signal processing. Autonomous vehicles can also be integrated with a hologram projector, which projects predators model at night to deter the nocturnal species during the night time. All the solutions discussed so far can be used in combination if required to increase effectiveness in high-risk zones. As you can see, the biomimetic repellent can form the first line of defense, followed by sound emitter and receptors in the second line. These will be managed by village eco-task forces. Ultimately, we can have autonomous vehicle for patrolling and monitoring. On animal movement, SMS will be sent to villagers and community, which can respond immediately. Thank you.
I will ask the first question. I understand your presentation is over. So the first observation is that in Maharashtra, we tried this sound systems and this spray of chili powder and other things at many places. But this deterrence, the animals get habituated to this deterrence very soon. In 2-3 days, the solutions which you propose, like decoy animals and creating ultrasonic sounds, the animals get habituated to these things very soon, and the effectiveness of this system for a very long time is questionable. This is observation number one. Number two is you talked about vegetative fencing, but vegetative fencing is again a very costly affair. To cover the entire villages with fencing, vegetative fencings around them is very, I would say, cost prohibitive. So these are my observations. But again, uh, this ultrasound system that can be improved, and it can be integrated with the AI system which identifies the animals, and it is an automated system, then perhaps it will be a good intervention. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Like we also understood that.
Or Simran, can I come in?
Yes, sir, you can come in, but let the team members first respond, and you can surely come in, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We also understood that none of the solutions is 100%. That's why we proposed a layer of defense in all the risk zone, so that in case the one model fails, we can deploy the second and third layer of defense, so that an integrated approach can be followed and we can effectively deal with this solution.
Sir, with respect to the cost of the vegetative fencing, it would not be an individual initiative. The whole village as a community would come together and they would try to secure the agricultural fields by taking up the barrier crops around the agricultural fields. So it would not be it would be a community initiative and not an individual initiative. So that would reduce the burden of the cost, sir.
Sir, about the animals getting habituated about the ultrasound deterrent, I'd like to say that they get habituated because the threat is not real. However, in case of railway tracks, the threat that is train is likely to come within few minutes. So the animals won't get habituated because the threat is real. So they will realize eventually that train comes after the alarm.
Yes, sir, you may please join the next question.
Yeah. So, congratulations to Gaurav, Prabhakar, and Prithviraj. You have done a lot of hard work. It is visible from the write-up that has been submitted by the GNFA and from your presentation. But there are many questions, but just within the limited time, my question to you would be, is that the suggestions or solutions you are coming up or proposing, don't you think these are all beaten? These have all been done before. So what is the innovation? This is number one. And number two, decoy seems to be an idea which looks attractive to me. But just for example, a herd of 100 elephants in the border of some forest which is close to town, how you will be actually repelling them and what sort of decoy you will be positioning. Thank you.
Sir, coming to solutions not getting successful, we have proposed a layer of defense mechanism. And sir, autonomous vehicles are something that have been proven very effective in whichever areas they have been piloted. And the success rates of drones and vehicles have been 100% in those areas. And coming to decoy models tackling 100 elephants, that's why as soon as we get the notification or the signal that elephants are coming, we can send alert to our drones and vehicles, which have potential to even shoo away a large herd of elephants. And sir, we have been using drones and vehicles to navigate tough terrains in Mars and Moon through our ISRO missions. So I feel this technology can be effective to deal even elephants like animals.
And sir, in the past, ultrasound deterrents have failed on many occasions because the threat was not real and it was meant only to mimic the threat. However, in our case, the presentation we made, the threat that is train is real and it requires integration with the railway system.
Thank you, Gaurav and Prithvi and Prabhakar. My question is, you have made an excellent integrations of the layers for preventing the wild animals to enter inside the habitat. How you assess the overall impact? Take the example of wolf in UP. How could you be able to stop the wolf entering into village? What is the overall impact of your innovations?
So, for example, like in place of a nilgai or leopard, if we have a wolf entering a village or a human habitated area, like first we can research and develop those biomimetic repellents which are repelled by the wolf. For example, like all big cats are repelled by chili or pepper spray. And second we have sound emitters and receptors which will definitely irritate the wolf. And so third layer of defense, which is our strongest layer, is drones and AVs. So if a drone detects a pack of wolf coming towards a human habitated area, it can emit laser lights, flashlights, or even pepper spray on the wolves, which is quite faster than the movement of the wolf, which will definitely stop the wolf entering. And then in the meanwhile, it can also notify the forest department, which can come and capture the wolf in the particular area they are entering.
Okay, thank
And
you.
sir, we can also use the scent of big cats, like in our integrated solution. So these scent of big cats like leopard or tiger can shoo away the wolf.
Okay, I have a few quick comments to make. Okay, first of all, my compliments on a really good and well-researched presentation. First suggestion is that you have looked at biomimetic repellents, scent-based, sound-based, plant-based, edible deterrent barriers. But I think one of the basic things that we are missing is the biofencing model that basically relies on plants that can serve as a physical barrier. Somehow, I don't see that happening here. Things like a thicket of katabas that elephants can't penetrate, or even a cave or something like that, because we are working on those models across the state. And let me repeat myself again, as I said earlier, that a lot of this stuff has been tried. So while we are looking for inspiration from abroad, let us not forget what is happening in India. The other, and for me, the most important concern with your presentation is that the topic that is given to you is how do we prevent wild animals from moving into human habitat areas? But the human dimension somehow is entirely missing, in the sense that if I live on the edge of a forest and you're trying to do something inside the forest which is trying to prevent animals from coming into my place, think of a situation where you are using chili bombs, for example. The impact is not limited just to inside the forest. There are people living out on the vicinity, their children, alarm noises, uh, all kind of signals, and then drones and other things operating. There's a human dimension also. So my request to you is, while the ideas are good, when you talk of a boundary like a situation or an edge, please also consider both sides of the edge. Thank you so much for your very, very, very good presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Team 4. Team 4, you may please proceed. Time is up.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir.
So, as the first team from Casfos Burning Heart is on a tour, team number 1 is kindly requested to please join in and give their presentation. And I would also like to request team 1 whether they would be sharing their screen themselves or should we share on their behalf. Team 1. Team 1, can you hear me?
Hello, sir. Are we audible?
Yes, you are audible. Are you sharing the screen on by your side?
We will share our.
Okay, so please start.
Is my screen visible, sir?
Yes, it's visible. It's visible.
Good afternoon to respected members of the jury, other dignitaries, and fellow participants present in the gathering. Elephants have been using migratory
Team
corridors
number
since
one,
time
just
immemorial.
sorry to interrupt you. Please maximize your window. The screen you are sharing, please maximize it.
Okay. Semi window. Is it now visible?
It's visible. Go ahead.
Is my screen now visible?
Yes, it's visible. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry for the inconvenience caused, sir. So we are here to present on the topic of human-elephant conflict and their movement into the railway corridors. So that's death of elephants due to collision with trains. We have tried to develop a holistic and integrated solution which can keep the elephants away from railway tracks and human habitation so that both human and wildlife can coexist together in harmony. So the first and foremost step is capacity building of both the forest and railway personnel to improve the coordination. Joint training is essential. Joint night patrolling in the affected areas is advised, and important thing is that railway staff should be advised not to throw leftover from trains near sensitive stretches as it attracts the elephants. And now elephant-proof trenches have been constructed for long, but the stepped elephant-proof trenches concept is new. It is important because many of the herbivores fell in the pit and died. So to prevent the dying of herbivores and also human casualties, stepped elephant-proof trenches is important. Also, regular vegetation clearing along is important for better view of the railway tracks. And sensitization of passengers is also very important. Now, as we move ahead towards biotic solution, so beehive fencing and non-palatable crops. This is a research has shown that elephants are naturally avoiding bees, so they tend to retreat when they sense bees nearby. This solution is not being used in practical or it has in Indian conditions because we have been using the bee Apis serena indica, which is a docile bee. So Apis serena indica, we should use Apis serena, which is known for aggressively defending their hives, and it has been proved effective in Vaganu National Park, Sri Lanka. And this chili rope fencing can also be done, in which for 1 kg of chili powder is required for 25-meter rope, and 500 gram of tobacco powder and grease, and 500 gram of engine oil is also required. Biotic solutions are cheap, effective, and can be adapted very easily if local communities are keen to introduce crops and techniques to protect their areas. If farmers who have fields near the railway tracks plant non-palatable species, it has proven to deter elephants. In a paper published in Journal Crop Protection, it was found that medicinal and aromatic plants, that is coriander, mint, basil, turmeric, lemongrass, etc., were clearly less attractive as compared to rice and were not consumed by elephants. So these studies suggest that medicinal and aromatic plants have a higher potential for secure income generation for farmers and can be grown to elephant-proven areas. As we move on to technological solutions, they are the most promising tool to prevent elephant collisions, as radio collaring of patriarch can be a key to collect the real-time data on their movement and migratory routes. Geofencing, that is erection of virtual geographic boundary, is also very important.
Intrusion detection system also can be used. This system uses sensor and thermal camera along the railway track to detect movement and identify the presence of animal on or near track. AI algorithm can be used for disturbing different animals, and one system detects animal could trigger alarms and send relative alerts to appearing trains and notify railway control centers. This would allow loco pilot to slow down or stop the train to prevent collisions. Cost of this is almost 20 lakh for 1 kilometer of track. It is successfully used by
amplified red and light distress signals to ward off elephants and
Team 1,
increasing
please
the
wind up.
visibility
Your
should
time is
also
up.
be installed in highly sensitive areas. Okay, sir, please give me a few seconds extra.
Okay, please wind up.
So wildlife corridor studies can be done. These structures should be designed with wildlife-friendly specification, considering elephant height, movement behavior, and herd dynamics, as done in Smriddhi Mamar, which is being constructed from Nagpur to Mumbai. The habitat restoration and management is very important, and it requires grassroots interventions along with local people's traditional knowledge, which is a key to restore the native grass nets. And the bullet points in it are identifying the local classes, their multiplication technique, their inside forest,
Team 1,
and it
there
should
is
be
some
done
communication issue at your end.
forest activities. Also, the natural water
Team 1, you are not audible.
inside the forest should be regulated. Regular desiltation should be done. So this is the first figure is showing the antenna from receiving signals. The second
Team
one
1, you are not audible.
can be done, and third one is the radio collar that is being installed on the third material. These sources are required as I have told that capacity building, biotic solution, technological solution, and habitat restoration.
I request the jury members to please proceed with the questions.
I will ask the first question. You talked about the Samriddhi Mahamarg in Maharashtra. So have you seen that the solutions they have proposed and that have been implemented on ground? Actually, along the Samriddhi Mahamarg, they have raised chain link fencing on the both sides, and more than 1,700 animal underpasses and overpasses have been created. So you propose that kind of solution that both the sides of the railway line should hence for some physical barrier should be created, and some animal and overpass and underpasses should be created. This is what you want to propose?
Please
No,
unmute yourself. Team 1, unmute yourself.
Unmute.
Sorry, sir. So we are proposing such solution on small scale, as elephants are using a regular path for their movement. So
Team 1, please listen. Team 1, whatever questions are being asked to you, you just reply in the chat box because you are not clearly audible. So whatever questions the jury is asking, directly reply in the chat box, and those would be considered by the jury. You can please note the questions and then reply. So I'd like to request the next jury member to ask the question.
Okay, can I come in now?
My question was that Samriddhi Mahamarg solution is a very different kind and a very expensive solution. Expensive in the sense that a lot of money has been spent on creating physical barrier on both sides of the road, and many animal overpasses and underpasses have been created there. So doing that for the entire railway line areas perhaps will not be possible. Second interesting thing which I found in your presentation was that creation of beehives that perhaps will deter elephants from coming to the railway tracks. That perhaps can be tried. This is all I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
Okay, can I come in?
Simran?
Yes, sir, please come in.
Yeah, in fact, being young officers, I must congratulate you for making a thoughtful presentation, Payal, Ajay, and Kamil Shah. But again, like your previous presenter, I hardly find any innovation here. Because one of the parameters on which we are going to make assessment, the very first parameter is innovation. See, this chili substance and repellents that you are suggesting have been tried for the last 30, 40 years. And in fact, it did not provide the expected result. Even the beehive fencing, which is very successful in Southern Africa, is not being successful in India. Railways are using it. We have fencing. Railways are using it in the northeastern railway in Assam and West Bengal. But again, that is not very successful. So we thought that there will be some innovative idea coming from young, brilliant mind. And one thing which impressed me is the AI. One of you was suggesting an AI model for repelling the animals, especially the elephants. That looks attractive, and that I think, subjected to the cost involved, can be scalable. So this is my understanding, and thank you.
Okay, can I come in now?
Sure, sir. Please come.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Simran. I would like to reiterate what Soumitra sir has just said. And I've gone through the paper that you've submitted. And I would like to say that almost everything that you have suggested here in terms of the capacity building, biotic solutions, technology solutions, all of these are being tried in one way or the other at some point in time, some place or the other. So the innovation part is something where I feel a bit thirsty as far as this presentation is concerned. Some other comments. There's some very generic solutions that are being offered, which I'm sorry don't excite me. It says declare areas adjacent to protected areas as conservation reserves. I don't think that is something that is very feasible all across. Then again, you talk of habitat restoration, increasing availability of water and food inside forests. So I think these are very simplistic solutions, and these are solutions that are being tried for the last several decades, if not years. So I have been left a bit thirsty on this whole aspect of innovation. One important thing I would like to point out, not just to you, but to the entire team, is that we are very generic and very generous in offering solutions, say use chili powder, this, that, and the other. I would like to draw your attention to a particular order of the Uttarakhand High Court from 2022. Just a second, yeah. 26th August 22, and I'll share it with the Director IGNFA. It says very clearly that this court has already directed the respondents not to use chili powder to prevent movement of elephants in their corridors. The said direction shall continue, and the respondents are also restrained from using any other obstructive methods to prevent movement of wild elephants in the corridors by using gunshots and electric fence. So when we prescribe, let us also be very clear that it is not a one-size-fits-all solution. It has to be applied very selectively, very carefully. It is like the surgeon's scalpel, which can heal, but if not expertly handled, can also kill. Thank you.
So I would like to.
Thank you, Payal. My question is in chat box. Please you respond in the chat box. Thank you.
So team number 1 is kindly requested to answer all the questions addressed to you in your chat box. The same would be considered by the jury. Okay. I would like to request Sunil Sharma, sir, if he has any question, to please proceed.
No, I'll put my question in the chat box.
Okay, sir. So, having done with team number 1, we will now proceed to team number 5. Team number 5 is from CASFOS Dehradun, and the team members consist of following members: Ajay Chaudhary, Karanveer Kaur, and Sumesh Balan. And they are going to pitch their solution for how to minimize elephant deaths from collision with trains.
Good evening all who are present here in offline as well as on online mode. We are having team, myself Ajay Chaudhary and my team members Karanveer Kaur and Sumesh Balang. And our topic that we have chosen is how do we minimize elephant deaths from collisions with trains. So already there are many interventions that are already being used on the tracks to minimize the deaths, but still in last 5 years there have been multiple instances when elephant deaths were occurred. So we have, with discussion with our team, we have come up with a solution that is not only based on some technological interventions, but implementation interventions also. So we have come up with a structure that not only implements, but our technological solutions, but also integrates various aspects of doing that. So what we are having, we have thought of like an ecosystem type situation where we'll be using GPS, real-time GPS monitoring of the herds along with on the railway track. We just want a early warning system that is AI-based cameras that will be connected to our central monitoring and control center, monitoring center and control center. And after that, like railway authority, like railway people on the ground and the people who are the forest people on the ground, they will be having like drones, like forest people. And if there are any nearby communities also there, so they will be there. And we have decided like there would be an app. If the community people or NGO people, they are interested in that thing, they can also track what are the trouble tickets that are going on, what are the train schedule, what we are doing, and what are the recent crossing situation. And it will be applicable to people who are trusted people, so that no other information is being leaked to poachers and others. So we have conceived proactive real-time GPS monitoring along with the AI-based early warning system. And one of the important, we have the four important components of that thing. One thing is monitoring and control center. One person, like 1 or 2% can monitor whatever happening through these cameras at any remote location, maybe around Bonner, maybe somewhere any DCF office or central office. They can monitor it 24/7 with the help of lease lines. So we can have through the tracks, we can have a microwave communication. It will take around 3 or 4 lakh investment. And after once we are in the urban areas through that link, that with the help of networks, we can through the lease line, we can reach up to the anywhere around, and it will cost around 1 to 2 lakh, the lease lines. And microwave communication from tracks to the nearby urban areas, it will cost around 4 to 5 lakh rupees. So with, the monitoring people can monitor the GPS chip tracking, app-based tracking they can do, because any people who are authorized to use that app, the nearby people, they can enter the real thing if there are any jumbos that are nearby tracks or they are crossing it. AI-based EWS trouble tracking system. We have conceived this system like that, the early warning system with the help of normal and IR cameras installed on towers. We can erect small towers, and every camera can cover an area of 50 or 60 meters. So we can have 10 towers and they can cover 1 kilometer. And it will be costing around 4 or 5 lakh with the help of that cameras. And these cameras will be having these feed fed to the systems, and then directly person who is there on the MCC center then can monitor it from that. We can have other things also because we are building on the existing system. So the other simple techniques that we are using, that like forest department using or the local pilots are using, that will be already there. So camera traps nearby in areas around 1 kilometer or maybe 500 meter inside the jungle, we can have these camera traps also. These are also connected to our network. Forest outputs where forest guards and other resources can be there, and signal and transmission gears that I was talking about, like my microwave communication and point-to-point lease lines. So that is a early warning system. Whenever there is any jumbos that really comes to the track and then tries to cross, it will be directly tracked. And with the help of AI system, they can gauge that this is the elephant, and automatic trouble ticket can generate to MCC center, and they can call them forest department, like forest guard or other people who are engaged in that 1 or 2 kilometer area. They can directly inform that this is something that is happening, and we can then contact to the loco pilots accordingly, and we cut down the train speed, and it can be just a very slow speed, and then it can cross accordingly. We are having track zonation with the help of we have 1 year or like once we have sufficient data through the GPS tracking, we can find what are the tracks and what are the trails, which kind of corridors they are using, and which part of the railway line that is more frequented and less frequented. So we can come up with 3 zonations having high, medium, and low probability crossing zones, and accordingly we can deploy our resources. Like earlier I was talking around 50 meter, the camera is covering 50-meter area, so we can cover 100 meter, 150 meters also if the frequency is low. This is multi-stakeholder. Okay. This is multi-stakeholder awareness and coordination MSEC process. It's about the coordination and all other things. And these are the resources required. I talked about technological human resources, R&D resources. Once we can take pilot project and then go for the wider applicability if it is applicable. Technology is already available and it is being used somewhere. In Coimbatore First Division, we are using half of this kind of situation. Thank you.
I request jury members to please proceed with their questions.
Hi. My question is to Ajit. Where is your team? Your team is missing. So one of the criteria for evaluating the whole processing is team collaboration and presentation. Where is your team?
Sir, the team is with me.
Number
We
two,
decided to go.
what is the overall impact on the not only the human populations and wildlife? So my 2 criteria, the team integration and collaborations, and number 2, the impact on a human and a wildlife, both, is missing in your presentation. And your presentation seems to be very, very technical. Is
Sir,
your
because we
suggested approach applicable? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, please carry on.
Sir, we have focused only the tracking part. We have taken a very narrow view in that sense that we will be monitoring the herd, will be creating trails, and will be having the technology-based camera surveillance, and will be calling the people. Like we have focused on that itself, sir. Like we have calculated all things according to that. All existing things are already there that we are already using, like railway authorities are or first authorities are already using.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, other measures were taken before, that construction of EPT or fence clear of the fence and all. But sir, उन सब को use करते हुए भी they were not proper results. So we thought कि ये जो कोयम्बटूर वाला मॉडल है सर, this मॉडल में पिछले 7 महीने से there is zero death. So इस मॉडल को कैसे हम एनहांस कर सकते हैं और क्या-क्या इसमें इंटीग्रेट कर सकते हैं? तो हमारा पूरा जो कंसंट्रेशन था प्रेजेंटेशन का सर उसी के ऊपर था.
Okay, can I?
आपने कॉस्ट नहीं बताया है क्या इसका कॉस्ट क्या?
Sir, the whole installation, there are 2 scenarios. Like one scenario when we are getting GPS collars from Bangalore based indigenous institutions, so it will cost around 20 lakh for 20 lakh installation cost with 5 lakh per kilometer cost. And after 20 lakh installation cost, we can expand it with 5 lakh per kilometer. And if we are not able to get, if we want German based GPS collars, then it will be taking 40 lakh initial cost with including 5 lakh per kilometer, and after that 5 lakh per kilometer.
Okay, can I come in here?
Yes.
Sure,
Okay, first of all, my compliments to the group for putting together this proactive monitoring and early warning system. Let me give you a reality check on 2 counts. First of all, your first line says the GPS collars / chips to be attached to prominent leaders, members of each elephant group. In Uttarakhand, the elephant population is 2016. Considering a average size, if you go to Corbett in summers, you can see more than 200 elephants in one go. Some elephant herd could be 3, 4, 5 approximately. So we're talking of a very large number of individuals that need to be radio collared. That's one. The second question is, fixing of radio collars and maintaining the radio collars is a very tricky exercise because battery life depends on the kind of activity monitoring that you do. What is the space between which, because these are satellite collars, whether you need an update every hour, every 30 minutes or once each day, okay, that will basically ascertain the battery life, and you have to drop the collar before the battery dies, otherwise elephant will be left with a collar around its neck. So for this system to work, actually you will need to replace collars very frequently over the entire cycle. So just think about the feasibility of this when you're looking at a large elephant population. I'm just giving an Uttarakhand example, but in states like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Assam, I would think something similar would prevail. So just think on those lines. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Simran, can I come in?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, my congratulations to Ajay, Karanveer, and Sumesh. Did I get you right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, I'm extremely happy. Your presentation comes up with certain innovations, although it's pretty technical in nature. And honestly, I'm telling you in your face that I'm marking you very high. This is number one. Number two, one issue which is actually niggling me is that you have used the term chipping of animals. How you propose to do that? This is my only question to you, and thank you.
Sir, like initially we thought that GPS collars will be used for 1 year just to mark their trail and how in the season they are moving. So once we are having intelligence of that kind, which kind like in which season and in which way these herds are moving, like elephants living in herds. So we will be like initially targeting 1 or 2 elephants of the herd, and we will be working that. And the forest guard will be having a drone, and he can monitor accordingly once they come near 500 meters through the track. Microchipping is, sir, still like that, like we just want for the identification of the elephant. If microchipping is done near ears of the elephant, it's a difficult, sir, in practical. How do we go for it? But we want microchips also, these 2 or 3 per herd if elephants, for the identification of these elephants. It's not for tracking, sir.
Okay, but I'm not convinced. Anyway, but I like your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to come in. What I understand from your presentation, there are only 2 things which you are proposing. Number one, there will be cameras fixed along the railway line, which will relate the information to a control center, which will be situated elsewhere in some division office or somewhere. And if the animals are there on the track, then that information through that center will be communicated to the loco pilot. For that, you need to fix cameras on every 50 meters along the track, as you said. This is...
Yes, sir. Every 100
you
meters. Like one...
propose to fix radio collars on the animals so that you can identify which areas are more sensitive for crossing, which are less sensitive.
Yes, sir.
So the first part is okay. I think every other team also proposed that there should be an AI system of identifying the animals which are coming on the track. Second part, as Samir also said, fixing radio collars on all the animals and just to identify which areas are more sensitive for crossing, that perhaps that information is already there with us, which areas are more sensitive, which are less sensitive. And radio collaring so many animals, and again, it's an expensive thing. Secondly, it is the battery life is limited. You have to link it to a satellite, and you get information on only after only once in 2 hours or once in 4 hours. So I don't know how much that will be effective or useful. But the first part is okay. Mission to a control center which can warn a loco pilot, which is an early warning system, and that perhaps is not a new system. We already know about it. Thank you.
But sir, we our presentation we have given more into implementation thing, like how would we implement this thing with these technologies also, because sometimes we come up with ideas but not able to implement that. But we have taken care of which process, like AMSEC process, we have come up with, and awareness and the human resources on the field, and the technology will support them. That's for them, for supporting the human resources. We will having the eyes on the tracks.
So as we are short on time,
Through the local communities
Thank
also
you.
we can have help in this technology. No?
So as we are short on time, we would like to proceed with the next team.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
So team number 6 is from CASFOS Coimbatore. Team number 6, are you ready? Team number 6, CAS for Coimbatore. Are you ready? Team number 6, please respond. Are you ready? Team number 6, are you ready? Alok Chaiswal and Lavkesh Gilhare. Are you ready? Since no reply is coming from team number 6.
I think they are muted. Harsimran, they have muted themselves.
Team number 6, CAS for Coimbatore, please unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. And please reply, are you ready with the presentation? So there seems to be some technical issue. So in the meanwhile, we'll proceed with team number 7. Team number 7.
Yeah.
Team number 7 is from FRI deemed University, Dehradun. And the team members are Tanu, Sagrika, and Shreyansh. And they would be presenting on how do we deal with lantana infested habitats.
Audible? Are we?
Team number 6, we have started with team number 7. Next would be your turn. Please be ready.
Yes, sir.
Sir, we want to cross check. Are we audible?
Sir, are we audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible now, but now we have started
Yes,
with
sir.
team 7. So
Yes, sir.
kindly
Yes.
wait for 15 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Please proceed.
A very warm good afternoon to one and all present here. I, Tanu Chokar, along with my teammates Sagrika and Sriyanj, are representing Forest Research Institute deemed to be university and will be presenting on the solution for the problem, how do we deal with lantana infested habitats? So, lantana is quite a prominent issue, isn't it? What is it? How is it affecting our Indian forest? How is it affecting the biodiversity? How can we deal with this? Let's decode it all. Lantana camera reported in 44% of Indian forests. It is a pan-tropical invasive species that harms native flora and affect the biodiversity loss. It releases allelopathic chemicals such as lantana 2D, which affects the growth of native plants by directly disrupting the soil microbiota. Lantana is an opportunistic invasive species which quickly proliferates in an open area and harms the ecosystem there and the native species. How can we remove this now? There has been many practices that has been followed in our country, mechanical, biological, and chemical, but none of them has been 100% effective till now. So what can be the solution? The solution will be a holistic approach to this problem, which includes restoration of the ecosystem along with the eradicating of lantana. So our solution is restoration-led approach to combat lantana camara.
So this approach consists of 4 major steps. Step number 1 is mechanical removal of lantana camara. Step number 2 is implementing biological control agents. Step number 3 is succession and native flora restoration. And step number 4 is community engagement through bricketing, clean fuel option, targeting NDCs and SDGs at large. So I'll explain to you each step in detail. Step number 1, mechanical removal of lantana. So mechanical removal of lantana will be done by physical extraction, in which we'll use methods including cutting, digging, mowing, and chipping to physically remove lantana. Forest Department will provide us with funding, manpower, and equipment. Step number 2, introducing biocontrol agents. Biocontrol agents that we will use here are mycoherbicides and bionematicides. They will help remove lantana directly as well as indirectly. This synergetic approach combining lantana-derived bionematicides with microherbicides enhances overall effectiveness and in controlling lantana growth. Then step number 3 we have is succession and native flora restoration. Using a native grass species that has the similar competitive traits as that of lantana will not only outcompete lantana for resources like sunlight, water, and nutrients, but also will make sure that lantana does not proliferate and dominate in that area. Now we have step number 4, that is one of our most important steps, that is community engagement through bricketing clean fuel.
The community engagement has been the most important aspect of our approach. We have engaged the community in all the steps, but now we are converting the mechanically removed lantana into the briquettes and giving the community with a very clean fuel. So the mechanically removed lantana will be converted to briquettes, thus aids in an alternate to a cleaner fuel. This community-led initiative conforms with the SDG 13 and SDG 15, that is climate in action and life on land. So as we know that Uttarakhand is having a scheme that says Pirul Lao or Paise Pao. We are proposing the same thing for the Lantana, that Lantana Lao Paise Kamao. We can engage the community with us to bring in Lantana, approve that and bring to the government, and we'll give you rewards and return for that. In this way, we'll reduce the carbon emissions and also eradicate the lantana, concluding this approach in a very good manner.
So as to conclude, our approach targets community, climate, and biodiversity as a whole. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and now we are open to the questions.
The jury may please proceed with the questions.
Have you done any exercise about how much area needs to be tackled? I mean, in Maharashtra, there are huge tracts of lands which are covered with lantana. It is a very, very costly affair, and huge required for removing the lantana from the entire areas. Even if we talk about protected areas alone, not think about the areas which are under territorial divisions. Even in protected areas, very difficult to tackle the huge areas which are under lantana. So we are trying every financial resource that we can lay our hands upon, like CSR funds we are trying, from district level schemes, from state level schemes, but still the problem is very huge. So the technical part which you said is okay, that you have to physically cut it, burn it for 3 years continuously, then the area gets cleared of lantana. But the major problem here is the areas to be tackled are very huge areas, and it's not possible. If you make a plan, it will take 10 to 15 years to remove the entire lantana in protected areas alone. So that we need to have cheaper solutions,
Yes,
and
sir,
which we need to have solutions which can be implemented upon large tracts of lands. That is my observation.
Yes, sir, indeed. So this lantana has a very large dispersal scale, and it is in India. It is in 44% of Indian forest. That's why, sir, we are bringing the approach of community engagement, where we can engage the community, and we start it at a local level, where we can eradicate first the lantana and then give a biopesticide so that it didn't regenerate again, and then bring in the native flora. So native flora will be available from the forest department and from the nurseries. So if we just go for the native flora, that will not be allowing the lantana to regenerate again, and the eradication will be like, we didn't want to be long process for 3 to 5 years, and in this way we will be leading it to the restoration purposes and go for the succession from grasses to trees. And for the the cost purpose, we are giving the solution for the brackets so that we can minimize the cost and get some benefit.
That exactly is my point. You have to work the economics of creating pellets from the lantana which will be
Yes,
cutting, and
sir. We did that.
if that economics works out,
Sir,
then
it's
perhaps more areas can be tackled.
yes,
Yes.
sir. Sir, the briquette formation is
Can I chip
very.
in now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. The briquette formation is very economical, sir. It just needs one machine. The cutting of the lantana and then pressing it at a high pressure, just electric motor, nothing else. Any training that can be given to a local person or community can be helped in the making of the briquettes, and they can be sold in a very easy manner, sir. It will be. It don't need a
You
very
should
large infrastructure.
you should in your presentation you should have told the economics in the sense that this is the cost of cutting, this is the cost of producing the briquette,
Yes,
this
sir.
is the price at which we can sell those briquettes in the market. So this much money is generated for the local community. This kind of analysis should be done. This is what I mean to say. Okay, thank you very much. Your
Thank you.
presentation was very good. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanu,
Thank you, sir.
Shagarika, and Shreyans. It's a good presentation, but old presentation. Research has been made 20 years back, 2 decades back by FRO for the removal and in operation. So, in my opinion, there is no innovations at all. Number one. Now, since last 2 decades, we are unable to eradicate lantana. So the practicability of the whole process is jeopardized. How could you overcome it?
So, for the innovation part,
Yeah.
so we are using a complete approach. Like if somewhere it is only eradicating of lantana, somewhere it's only plantation of native species. So when we follow a series of approach where we are leading it by the restoration or the succession, we are going to first from the step by step, then we can eradicate it in much new manner. And the studies which we have read are the more recent ones which use the species that are effective in the very good, like they are effective in eradicating lantana in a very effective manner, sir.
And so we even propose to use biocontrol agents that have not been used for eradicating. We combination of these biocontrol agents. Like we have been using old traditional techniques to remove lantana that just leads to reoccurring of lantana again and again. So by using these biocontrol agents where research is needed, we can propose a innovative idea where it will be effective for the long term.
I think the state of Himachal had used the pesticides to eradicate lantana 10 years back, but they were not successful.
So bioherbicides along with the nematicides, mycoherbicides, that will be effective for this eradication of lantana.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks from my side.
Can I just
Right.
ask a question, please?
Yes, ma'am, please come in.
Yeah, Tanu, Sagarika, and Shreyansh, excellent presentation. Well researched, but I have a few questions. For example, the biocontrol, that you're talking about. You are yourself saying that over 40% of India's forest has lantana. All right, that paper the paper that you have quoted.
Indian forests.
So, which is fine. Then how do you propose to actually do it at that extent of area? So from the feasibility point of view, I have this question. Secondly, what is the impact of such solutions on other flora of the region? And thirdly, what are those gap grabbers that you have mentioned in your proposal? You mentioned, you'll plant with gap grabbers some species, but you've not mentioned the species, I believe.
Yes, ma'am. We
So
have the species.
it will be nice to point out species for different ecosystems.
Yes, ma'am. The species
Dana is across the different ecosystems, and yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the species are site-specific. They are according to the geographical region. And if we talk about the Himalayan region, we have species of grasses, as you are asking about the gap grabbers, the species which is Panicetum pedicelatum, the grass species, and the Sorghum haplensis. The species are very fast-growing, aggressive native species, which grab the gap very quickly, like even faster than lantana. The main problem with lantana is it is aggressively growing. So to decrease the growth of the lantana, we are proposing to bring in the grasses which have more growth than the lantana. These native floras, the grasses, Penicillium pedicillium and Sorghum hapelensis are the plants that we are suggesting here.
And ma'am, it actually covers the entire canopy, does not let lantana proliferate again and again. And as far as the biocontrol agents are considered, we propose using drones and other methods so as to include technology in it as well. We would need all that technology so that sprays and drones that would cover a very large area.
Congratulations, the group. You have very well brought out the technical part and scientific part that we can close the canopy, we can replace it with the fast-growing plants. But did you study it? Why we have so far not been able to control this problem? And you have not come with the economics. Good part is that you came with a good solution that it need to be replaced with native species. But in your concept paper, you have proposed for this Dinanath grass. I think it's also a invasive species. If you come to the forest areas, talk about the forest areas. So that may kindly be looked into.
And
hello, sir. Due to its allelopathic properties, it does not allow the other species which are also native and also invasive. They don't allow these species to grow. So this problem is not being solved from this years. Like there are thousands of techniques which are being used since various times, and there is this CR Babu technique also, which is also being implemented, but there is no profit of those techniques. So here we just got this idea that we can do it from the grassroots level to involve communities. So what we call is the community-led initiative. So here we are just doing that. Just to make it just add it with the economics. So we propose this briquette model. So that is our initiative what we have took, and this is the only innovative thing, that if something is not working in our country, just add it with money and then people will attract with it. And if forest department is offering them money, and then it is so in that way it can be tackled only. So it is from grassroots level, but it is scalable and it can be done, and it is also feasible.
Due to paucity of time, we'd like to shift to the next team. Team 7, please proceed.
Thank you, sir.
Team number 6 from Casforce Coimbatore. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so please start with your presentation. Team
Yes,
6
good
consists of
afternoon.
Alok Jaiswal and Lavkesh Gilhare.
Yes,
Please,
sir.
Please start.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Alok Jaiswal. My topic is how do we prevent wild animals from moving into human habitat area? Sir, वाइल्ड एनिमल को पूरी तरह से तो स्टॉप नहीं कर सकते ह्यूमन हैबिटेट में, लेकिन कुछ ऐसे प्रयासों से हम कम किया जा सकता है। और ये जो प्रयास है मेन जो सर वाइल्ड एनिमल का एरिया में जाने का मेन जो है सर फूड वाटर ये करते हैं सर। इसमें हम जैसे कुछ सुने सर, जो ये कुछ सुझाव जो पहले से ही चले आ रहे हैं सर, उसमें कुछ हम जैसे चेंज किए हैं। मेंटेनिंग सस्टेनेबल फॉडर प्रोडक्शन सर, इसमें हम लोग वीड को रिमूव करके उसके जगह में ग्रास प्लांटेशन कर सकते हैं सर। और सर जैसे इस पहले से ही चला रहा सर ग्रास प्लांटेशन, बट इसमें सस्टेनेबल फॉडर प्रोडक्शन सर। इसमें क्या है सर कि इसमें हम पूरे साल उस ग्रास को मेंटेन करेंगे सर। और जैसे रेनी सीजन और विंटर सीजन में तो सर ग्रासेस अवेलेबल है सर, लेकिन समर सीजन में नहीं हो पाते। तो सर जिस एबिलिटी ज्यादा है सर, तो वहाँ पे हम बोरवेल करके सोलर पंप को यूज करके सर वहाँ भी हम समर में ग्रास प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं सर। जिसके अगर हम ग्रास प्रोवाइड कराते हैं सर, तो इससे एलिफेंट को तो फूड मिलता ही है सर, साथ में हर्बीवोरस को भी फूड मिलेगा, और इससे उनका ग्रोथ होगा सर, पॉपुलेशन भी ग्रोथ होंगे, जिससे कार्निवोरस को भी कार्निवोरस कोई फूड मिलेगा सर, जिससे लोग ह्यूमन हैबिटेट एरिया में नहीं जाएंगे सर। और सर इसमें हम लोग हॉर्टिकल्चर डिपार्टमेंट के साथ भी कोलैबोरेट करके सर जो फ्रूट स्पीसीज है उसको हम फॉरेस्ट एरिया में प्लांट कर सकते हैं सर। और जैसे सर इसमें बैम्बू प्लांटेशन भी कर सकते हैं सर, वीड रिमूव करके। और सर जैसे वाटर होल एरिया में बैम्बू प्लांटेशन और ग्रास प्लांटेशन भी कर सकते हैं सर। सर डेवलपमेंट एंड मेंटेनेंस ऑफ पेरेनियल वाटर सोर्सेज सर, इसमें हम लोगों को सर खाने के साथ साथ वाइल्ड एनिमल को वाटर की भी अवेलेबिलिटी, वाटर की भी जरूरत पड़ेगी सर वाइल्ड एनिमल को। तो उसमें स्लाइड चेंज तो सर हम इसको वाटर होल्स एरिया, वाटर सोर्स एंड वाटर होल्स एरिया, इसमें सर जैसे वाटर होल्स एरिया के पास ही सॉल्ट लीकिंग एरिया अगर बना दे सर, तो उनको फैसिलिटी मिलेगा सर। और बड़ा एंड सर जैसे कि एक और नॉन प्रीफर्ड क्रॉप कल्टीवेशन अलोंग द फॉरेस्ट फ्रिंज एरिया सर, जैसे कि एलिफेंट को पैडी, ग्रास, बैम्बू, जैक फ्रूट, मैंगो और बनाना ज्यादा पसंद है। इसको खाने के लिए वो लोग बाहर फ्रिंज एरिया की ओर आते हैं। तो अगर हम फ्रिंज एरिया में ही जैसे जो अनपैलेटेबल क्रॉप जैसे चिली, साइट्रस, बिटर गार्ड, ओकरा, टैरो को अगर हम प्रमोट करते हैं सर, तो इससे वो अंदर ही रहेंगे, अंदर इधर आने की इधर ज्यादा नहीं आएंगे सर फ्रिंज एरिया में। सर नेक्स्ट फायर मैनेजमेंट सर। सर इसमें जैसे कंट्रोल फायर बर्निंग करना है सर, और इसमें वॉच टावर से हमको, क्योंकि फायर भी एक बहुत बड़ा मेन कॉज है सर उसके लिए, ह्यूमन हैबिटेट की ओर जाने का वाइल्ड एनिमल को।
नेक्स्ट।
लोकेश।
गुड आफ्टरनून सर, माई सेल्फ लोकेश कुमार गिलहरे। सर इसे आगे प्रोसीड करता है कि वीड रिमूवल भी एक बहुत बड़ा आज के समय पे वाइल्ड लाइफ ह्यूमन के हैबिटेट में आ रहा है, उसका रीजन हो गया, क्योंकि जितने भी हमारे फॉरेस्ट है जो नेचुरल था, स्पीसीज जैसे लेंटाना हो गया, वो जाके पूरे फॉरेस्ट को कवर कर ले रहा है, जिससे कोई फूड नहीं मिल रहा है, तो बाकी एनिमल्स क्या है मूव कर रहे हैं। तो जैसे हम लोग लेंटाना कैमरा है सर, इसका इरिडिकेशन ना हम एनटीएफटी के तौर पे कर सकते हैं। लाइक उसको एक सिस्टम बना के कि उसको वहां के जो विलेजर्स रहेंगे वो उसको कलेक्ट करेंगे, और उनको हम जैसे एनटीएफटी खरीदते हैं वैसे वो उनको हमारे जो लघु वन उपज है वहां खरीद के उसको हम डायरेक्ट करके, जैसे जहां भी यूज होता है बोर्ड पार्टिकल बोर्ड, प्लास्टिक वुड मिक्सचर, जहां ऐसे जगह पे हम लोग उसको यूज कर सकते हैं। और ऐसे 2-3 साल तक कंटिन्यू करने से ऑटोमेटिक हम लोग इन्वेसिव वीड्स हैं जितने भी, वो सारा हम लोग उसको कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं सर। नेक्स्ट। सेकेंड वन है सर इंस्टॉलेशन ऑफ हनी बी बॉक्स। जैसे पहले के स्पीकर्स ने भी ये सारा चीज बताया है, तो इसमें मैं ज्यादा बात नहीं करूंगा कि इंस्टॉलेशन। इसमें एक आइडिया ये है सर कि हम लोग जो फॉरेस्ट फ्रिंज एरिया है, तो उस एलोंगेशन में जितनी बाउंड्री है उसमें या फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट या फिर जिनके उस प्राइवेट लैंड उससे अटैच है, उनको हम यदि उस रूरल एरिया में हम बॉक्स उनको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर दें, और उससे जो मिलने वाले हनी है उसको एक ब्रांड नाम पे इको डेवलपमेंट ईडीसी के माध्यम से इसके ब्रांडिंग करके नेचुरल या फिर, यस सर। लास्ट वन है सर रेगुलेशन ऑफ एनटीएफटी इन एलिफेंट प्रोन एरिया। जिस एरिया पे बहुत ज्यादा कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होता है उन एरिया पे हम लोग, जैसे फूड है, एग्जाम्पल के लिए है सर मधुलिका इंडिका है, तो इन सब को हम रेगुलेट कर सकते हैं, या फिर इनके क्वांटिटी खरीदी में भी डिक्रीज कर सकते हैं, या फिर उसमें उस एरिया पे पूरे ही इसको प्रोहिबिट करके लोगों को अवेयर कर सकते हैं कि जितने भी। ओके, थैंक यू सर।
The jury may please proceed with the questions.
Yeah. Simran.
Yes, sir. Please come in.
Okay, so Alok Jaiswal, Lavesh,
Yes, sir.
and Gilhari,
Yes, sir.
congratulations for a good presentation. But unfortunately, again, I don't find much innovation. Creation or augmentation of fodder, water, and
Yes, sir.
having grassland, etc.,
Yes, sir.
etc., are all old theories which are being told now. But I
Yes,
just
sir.
want to ask you one question. As to you are speaking about elephants. So
Yes.
when you talk about elephants, so
Yes,
elephants
sir.
have a tendency to, they are long-ranging animals. They move
Yes,
from
sir.
one place to another.
Yes, sir.
So if there is there are two forests and in between the land, and they are bound to move in spite of you, making lots of food and water facilities available inside the forest, they will move out. So in those circumstances, what is your proposal? How do you think those kind of situation will be controlled? Thank you.
उसके लिए वो कॉरिडोर मेंटेन करें।
सर जो एलिफेंट कॉरिडोर है सर, उसमें हम इसकी व्यवस्था कर देंगे सर, तो फूड और वाटर की सर।
क्या करें वहां पे समझ लीजिए एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड है, किलोमीटर्स आफ्टर किलोमीटर, तो वहां पे फॉडर कैसे बनाएंगे? वहां पे चावल गेहूं उगाए जाते हैं, तो हाउ यू विल बी सॉल्विंग दिस प्रॉब्लम?
सर मेनली हम लोग देखते हैं सर कि एनिमल का मूवमेंट ज्यादातर फूड और उसके वाटर के लिए होता है, तो ये वो यदि इनसाइड हम फॉरेस्ट्री कर दें, और सर ऑफ कोर्स ये एक परमानेंट मेथड तो है नहीं, बट सर इस करके हम लोग मिनिमाइज जरूर कर सकते हैं सर उसके मूवमेंट को।
Anyway, you should keep this in mind. In fact, there are vast stretches of land which elephant uses when they move, which are not forest land.
Yes, sir.
And it is practically impossible to raise forest in agricultural land. It's not a question of few hundreds of hectares, a few thousands of hectares involved. You just being young officer, keep this in mind. And food and water definitely is required. You
Yes,
can
sir.
retain the animal for some time inside the forest, but these elephants will have a tendency of moving out. And that is what we have seen the last so many decades. Just keep this in mind. Okay, thank you. But anyway, your presentation was very heartwarming.
सर इसमें थोड़ा वर्क करना पड़ेगा सर, तो थोड़ा सा।
Okay, can I come in now?
Yeah. ठीक है.
Okay. Team Coimbatore, first of all, my congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to reiterate what Samita sir said, that again, this is a mix of things that are already being tried. But there are two or three things on which I would like to voice my concern. First of all, wildlife management में somehow ये एक default buttons हो गए हैं. When in doubt, water hole बना दो और fodder plantation लगा दो जंगल में. See, elephants are not moving out of the forest because उनको जंगल में खाने की कमी है. Elephants are moving out of the forest because they are long-ranging animals, and that migration is embedded into their behavior. So आप कुछ भी कर लो, वो बाहर निकलेंगे, वो move करेंगे. एक. Secondly, lure crops की बात कही. I was just talking to the director, GNFA. We were just discussing. I'll give you a very basic example. मैं घर में रोज रोटी सब्जी बनाता हूँ, मेरे पड़ोसी की रोज बिरयानी बनती है. एक दिन खुशबू लूंगा, 2 दिन लूंगा, तीसरे दिन घंटी बजाऊंगा जाके कि आपसे मिलने आए हैं, इस लालच में कि कुछ हमें मिल जाए, हमें भी कुछ स्वाद बदल जाए. तो एक तो ये है. तो प्लीज डोंट कंसीडर दिस एज अ क्विक फिक्स फॉर एवरीथिंग कि वाटर होल बना दो. वी नीड हैबिटेट्स व्हिच आर सब ऑप्टिमल. हर हैबिटेट को ऑप्टिमल नहीं बनाना है, उसके अलग नेगेटिव कनोटेशंस है. The other important concern that I have is that the topic that was given to you is how do we prevent wild animals from moving into human habitat areas. You have entirely focused on elephants. Please realize that in certain areas where there are no elephants, even a species like the peafowl can inflict a lot of loss on agricultural crops. So I would expect, and I would have expected, that your presentation, because almost every other presentation is talking about elephants, so I would have expected that you would have kept many other species in mind, but somehow it seems that you've also stuck to elephants. So please keep that in mind. Thank you once again, my compliments.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to come in.
Yes,
In
sir.
Maharashtra, everything you said has already been tried.
Yes.
Water hole creation, the fodder plantations, everything has been tried. But still, somebody mentioned in the beginning of the the whole. In the initial stages, somebody told that Maharashtra paid 250 crores of crop damage compensation in the last few years. Every year we are paying around 250 crores of crop compensation. So the solutions which you have proposed have already been tried, and that may, as you said, it may create a little effect, but it's not a very long time and an effective solution. Elephants, again, we have elephants in Maharashtra also, and we have tried everything. We have tried elephant-proof trenches. We have tried this buffer cropping, as you mentioned. But still, on a daily basis, we are facing incidences where these elephants enter villages, they damage property, they eat stored rice, they damage rice fields also. So it's not that these solutions which you have proposed have not been tried; they have been tried, and in the areas in Maharashtra where we are having elephants, they are very rich in they are very rich forests, and everything is available inside. Water bodies are also there. Foods which elephant can eat are also there, but still, as I said, on daily basis we are facing incidences where elephants are entering villages. So your solutions are good, but again we need to think more about what needs to be done. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Can I chip in?
Yes,
Simran?
sir, please.
Yeah. Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
Alok and
Thank you, sir.
Lakesh. आपका
Thank you, sir.
प्रेजेंटेशन अच्छा था, इनोवेशंस नहीं था, बट
Yes, sir.
प्रैक्टिकेबिलिटी थी, जैसा कि हमारे सभी ज्यूरी मेंबर्स कह रहे हैं. मैं समीर की बातों को आगे बढ़ाऊंगा कि ये एलिफेंट सेंट्रिक प्रेजेंटेशन आपका,
Yes, sir.
जबकि वाइल्ड लाइफ हैबिटेट में जो मेजो प्रेडेटर्स हैं या जो मेजो एनिमल्स हैं, मेजो वाइल्ड लाइफ हैं, स्मॉल वाइल्ड लाइफ हैं, उनका क्रॉप डैमेज ज्यादा होता है उनके द्वारा. हम उस पर भी हम लोगों को थोड़ा सा ध्यान देना चाहिए था.
Yes, sir.
तभी हम ओवरऑल इम्पैक्ट को असेस कर पाएंगे, इवेलुएट कर पाएंगे. अदरवाइज प्रैक्टिकल है आपका सॉल्यूशंस, वही हम इम्प्लीमेंट आज भी फील्ड में कर रहे हैं और वही स्केलेबल है. इसीलिए इसी को दूर करने के लिए इनोवेशंस की बात आई थी. इसलिए पहला जो हमारा इवैल्यूएशन क्राइटेरिया है वो इनोवेशंस का है, वो पार्ट आपका लैक कर रहा है. थैंक यू वंस अगेन, थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you, sir.
मैं चिपिन, इसमें आपकी प्रेजेंटेशन बहुत अच्छी तरह जैसे बताया, प्रैक्टिकल आपने बताया जो हम कर रहे हैं, उसमें एक आपने बड़ा इनोवेटिव बताया कि एनटीएफपी की तरह इसको हम
Yes,
जैसे
sir.
एनटीएफपी हम परचेस करती है एमओयू करके, उसको आप कैसे वर्कआउट कर सकते हैं? क्या सोच सकते हैं इसके बारे में? कोई आपने स्टडी किया है कि एंड यूजर कहाँ यूज होता है एंटेना, बेसिकली आप उसको कैसे इंटीग्रेट कर सकते हैं कम्युनिटी को इन्वॉल्व करके, या उसमें हम बहुत प्रैक्टिकल कर सकते हैं?
सर हाँ, वो सर एक आइडिया मन में आया कि हम लोग जैसे बहुत सारे गवर्नमेंट के पैसा वहां पे यूज करते हैं इरिडिकेशन के लिए, तो हम उसको कम्युनिटी जो में रहते हैं, तो जैसे एनटीएफटी के लिए हमको कोई प्रमोट करने की जरूरत नहीं होती, वो कलेक्ट करते हैं और लाके वहां पे बेचते हैं. तो वैसे हम उसको ऐसा कुछ एक चैनल बना दे कि ताकि वहां पे विलेज लेवल पे उसको क्रशिंग कर दें या फिर उसको चिप करके उसको वॉल्यूम कम कर दें, और जहां भी यूज होता है इस जैसे पार्टिकल बोर्ड में या प्लाईवुड में, तो वहां पे एमयू करके उस जगह पे हम सप्लाई कर दें, क्योंकि ओवरऑल हम तो वुड का इंपोर्ट ही करते हैं हमारे इंडिया, तो उस जगह पे हम उसको फुलफिल कर सकते हैं सर. उसका
मैं केवल एक पॉइंट ऐड कर दूं, सुनील शर्मा जी ने जो बात रेज की उसमें, उत्तराखंड में इन द पास्ट देयर हैव बीन अटेम्प्ट्स टू कन्वर्ट दिस इनटू अगरबत्तीज. एफआरआई का प्रोजेक्ट था, उसमें फर्नीचर भी बनाने की कोशिश की है, लंटाना की चिपिंग भी पहले ट्राई की गई है. सो ऑल ऑफ दैट हैज वर्कड, बट इट वाज नॉट स्केल्ड अप फॉर व्हाटएवर रीजंस. तो आई थिंक एट द सेम टाइम it may be good to go back to those experiments and figure out why. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Team number 6,
I
if you
totally
have.
agree with Sinha Saab that we have done these experiments in Uttarakhand And in fact, we even made furniture and briquettes out of lantana, which were very successful at a lower scale. However, I think the reason we could not upscale is because we did not really promote it. The kind of awareness was never there. So probably if we combine it with a very strong awareness program and the cost affordability, I think it may work like that.
मैम इससे पार्टिकल बोर्ड्स भी बना सकते हैं
Team
मैम,
six,
जैसे
team
प्लाईवुड है भी
six,
इसका
team
यूज हो
six.
सकता है. Yes,
I want to request you that if you have anything to answer to the queries posed by our jury members, please answer in the chat box. Due consideration will be taken
Yes, sir.
about it.
Yes, sir.
So as we are running
Yes, sir.
short of
Thank
time,
you, sir.
I
Yes,
would
sir.
like to invite team number 8 from IGNFA Dehradun. The team members are Akash Verma, Amrendra Singh, and Ashutosh Gupta. And they would be pitching their solution for how to minimize elephant deaths from collision with trains. Team 8, please start.
Respected jury members, faculty members, and fellow probationers from Indira Gandhi National Forest Academy and other forest training institutes, a very good afternoon. Today, we will be presenting on the topic of elephant train collision and how to avoid this thing. As you can see in this image, a gentle giant is there roaming near the railway tracks. Fortunately, he was not a part of the casualty due to the train collision, but there are various elephants who are not that much fortunate enough. In India, in the past decade, remember this particular figure, 200. Around 200 elephants have died due to the elephant train collision in the past decade. Every year, around 20 elephants dies due to the elephant train collision. Now you can see in this figure, this particular image has been taken from West Bengal. A baby elephant is contemplating whether to jump on the railway track or not. The mother elephant is also there. Many a times, this has been seen that both the mother elephant as well as the baby elephant dies due to the elephant train collision. So what should be the solution? The solution can be of two-pronged strategy. The first one is to prevent the elephants to come on the tracks. And the second one is, if the elephant is present on the track, how to stop the train. Let's talk about the first strategy, that is how to prevent the elephants to come on the track. For this, habitat management measures are required. That is to remove the edible vegetation that are present near the track. That is the first one. Second, make overpasses, underpasses. Third one, that bring elephant trenches. Similarly, reduce the ballast height of the tracks as well as reduce the slope of the ballast. Now talking about the second strategy, that is if an elephant is present on the track, how to stop the train. For this, technological intervention measures are required. The first one is artificial intelligence integrated with the intrusive detection system as well as with the Kavach system. So that if a particular elephant is near to the track or is on the track, then the optical fibers that are laid underneath the railway tracks, they should send the signal and the Kavach system should stop the train. That is the first one. Second one is biotelemetry use. With the help of biotelemetry, we should use the microchips and real-time tracking of the elephants should be done so that a control center should be able to detect whether an elephant is near to the track or not. And if it is present, then it should send the signal to the loco pilot so as to stop the train. Third one is that using deep learning, machine learning, as well as blockchain technology in order to understand the behavioral pattern of the elephants so as to know how the elephant chooses their corridors. So that in the future, if a certain railway track needs to pass through the jungle, they should avoid these corridors.
And sir, as we know that any idea to be successful require resources. And in conservation, funding, without funding, it's just a conversation. So we require funding from all the sources and all the stakeholders, be it a railway, forest, state government, gram panchayats. Along with that technology, we require homegrown technologies in AI and ML with equipment such as GPS collars, biometric chips, microchips, and expertise in the form of training for staffs, loco pilots, signalmen, and all of the stakeholders which are living all in around the railway tracks. And if we talk about the scalability of the solution, sir, we know that biotelemetry is already used in the Gir National Park, is very successful in preventing the lion-human wildlife conflict. Such technology we can use along with the technology. And if we talk about technology, the anti-braking system that is Kavach is already used by the railway to prevent train-to-train collision. such technology can be scalable to the in mitigating the elephant collision. And the physical wear is a traditional way which is already used. And sir, I want to say that if we develop such technology, this solution can be scalable in preventing any conflict with the wildlife, be it a smaller animal uh, like tiger.
So now coming to the technology, so we are proposing 4 type of different technologies. Firstly, AI and ML, which is used for the prediction, and secondly, the blockchain. So we are proposing that different data set which we will generate should be available in a transparent manner to different stakeholders, so that these stakeholders can develop their own models, and this can help in detection and prediction. So cover system, which is already being implemented in the railway, is used for the automated braking and automated speed regulation of the train. And sir, for intrusive detection system, it is basically based on this technology that the optical fiber which is laid in the train, it recognizes the it recognizes that elephant movement by detecting by using different optical sensors in the optical fiber. Now, sir, availability of technology, AI, ML, blockchain, these all already available. And we talked that it is. And
Teammate, please wind up.
Yeah, sure. Talking about the cost benefit analysis, if I'll talk about the cost of the intrusive detection system that is used in the West Bengal and Assam, it is costing around 182 crores. If we talk about the microchips, if we are going to install a single microchip in every elephant, 30,000 elephants, it will cost only about 450 crores. Talking about the entire cost, it will be costing around 1,000 crores. But if we'll see the losses that happens every year, it is around 700 crores. And if we'll scale up to the last decade, 7,000 crores of loss has happened due to the elephant train collision. So if we'll just invest 1,000 crore rupees for a single year, we will be able to save 7,000 crore rupees that we are losing every decade. Now, in the end, I just wanted to quote what our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has said in his Man Ki Baat address, that हमें हर एक हाथी को बचाना होगा. जब हाथी बचेंगे तभी हमारे वन बचेंगे और जंगल बचेंगे, और जब हमारे जंगल बचेंगे तभी हम बचेंगे और हमारा भविष्य बचेगा. Thank you so much.
The jury members may please proceed with the questions.
Nee, I like the idea of Kavach which you proposed. I think this is the only innovative thing which you have proposed. Kavach system is already being used in railways for prevention of collision between trains. So something can be worked out there. Some technology should be worked out by which any obstacle on the railway track, be it an elephant or any other animal, if that technology can be developed, then perhaps it will be a very good thing to do, and it will be very practical also. So I appreciate that you have brought this out in your presentation. Secondly, you talked about chips, fixing chips. How are you going? The chip is only to when you read the chip, you know about the animal, where it was captured and all. Chip is not a radio collar which can link to the satellite and give you the location of the animal. I'm a little confused about that. Please make me clear. Thank you.
Sir, basically we have just wind up our West India tour, and we have visited the Gir National Park. Over there, they were using this biotelemetry based microchips. So what they are doing is they are darting the microchip in the lions, and with the help of the control centers, that is with the help of radio waves, they are actually detecting the real-time location of the lions. So similar technology we wanted to use in the elephants also. That is what we are proposing, that a biotelemetry-based microchip should also be considered in the elephants, so that their real-time tracking can be done.
Okay, right.
I have just one quick question to the team. First of all, my compliments. I'm not sure I really understand the costing that you've suggested. You say that the annual loss is to the tune of 700 crores. What is the basis of that figure, if you could please?
Sure, sir. Sir, so in the Wildlife Institute of India report, there was this thing that every year around 20 elephants dies, and they have said that India loses around 700 crores of rupees due to the elephant train collision. Sir, they have come out with this figure, by doing this analysis that if a particular elephant, which generally weighs around 3,500 kilos to 4,000 kilos, if it comes on the track and let's say a train has collided, so because of that, not only the train gets damaged, also derailment happens. And let's say if a particular train is carrying certain sort of coal is getting carried, so that also gets delayed to reaching to its proper destination. So this entire costing they have done, and they have come up with a figure of 700 crores. And thus, if we'll scale up to the last decade, if 700 crores is getting lost every year, 7,000 crores is the cost that the economy has incurred in the last decade.
Good, thank you.
So I also want to add one thing, that elephant is a social animal. Any rail kill disturbs the social dynamics within the group, and that can lead to the increasing human-wildlife conflict elsewhere. So that could also lead to the increasing the economic cost. Thanks.
Can I comment?
Oh, yes, Amit.
Yeah, this is very good. Must admit that it's very. There were a few innovative ideas that you have floated, but one of my query has already been asked by Mr. Gupta. In fact, I also had this apprehension of how you will be using chips. So this biochip is fine, but say for example, there are 150 elephants which are found to be on or around the elephant track. So how can you chip all these elephants? So there are some practical issues which are involved. And mind you, gentlemen, while congratulating you for a beautiful presentation, I must tell you, young minds, that whenever you plan such kind of solutions in the future, it should be economical, because the department that you are serving is not being flooded with money. So you have to come up with a solution which is economical in nature and acceptable, especially in these areas, this terrain that you are dealing, West Bengal, Assam, the hilly terrain through which the railway line passes. And the second thing that I would like to tell you, these areas are not straight lines. So whenever you devise some solutions, you have to keep it in mind that, from a distance of even 100 meters, the elephant can't see the train, and the train driver also can't see the elephant. It meanders like zigzag. It just moves like. So whenever we come up with a solution, you should keep this element in mind. So anyway, it's a very good presentation, and I'm going to mark you very high. So, but I thought that you should be keeping these two important aspects in mind in the future. Thank you.
Sir, I wanted to respond to the query that sir has raised. Sir, regarding the microchips, how we are going to implement this particular microchip. Sir, we have saw that in the Gir National Park, around for the 600 lions that are present over there, most of the lions are actually tagged with the microchips, and they have tagged it with the help of the darting. So the same technology can also be used with the elephants. So that's why we have put this particular innovative solution in our presentation. Secondly, sir, talking about the cost, it is very much understood that, sir, the forest department doesn't have this much amount of money, and it is very much acceptable. But, sir, in West Bengal as well as in Assam, the 182 crore that is getting spent on the intrusive detection system, it is entirely being spent by the railways. Similarly, sir, when we are talking about the microchips, over here, it is not necessary that only the forest department should spend. We can rope in corporate social responsibility. We can rope in various NGOs over here so as to implement this particular project in a very effective manner. So, sir, entirely cost-benefit analysis was done, and that's why we have presented this particular solution, sir.
My dear friend, just one quick comment. When you talk of the chip, please consider the thickness of the subcutaneous layer of a species like the lion and that of the elephant. I remember one of the first elephant microchips was put into a captive elephant here in Rajaji. And today also, you can actually go very close, actually put the sensor on the skin, and yet you will have problems in getting the reading out of the microchip. So it doesn't really work across all species equally. So just keep that in mind. Good, thank you.
Yes, Samir, actually, I wanted to know, Samir, I wanted to know from you, because when we radio collar tigers, that has a battery, that has a collar, that battery is connected to the satellite. Every 4 hour, every 2 hours or 4 hours, we get a signal from satellite. So do these chips also connect to the satellite for real time
No,
noticing
they are
real-time location
passive
of
chips. There is no technology that they can
No, no,
transmit anything. And our discussion, Mahip, between you, me, and Jagmohan will continue offline or online after this event. Thank you.
Okay, okay.
As we are
So
running
may I
short-
chip in now?
Okay, sure, sir, please.
Please. So I must congratulate Akash, Ashutosh, and your team, other team members. Your presentation was excellent. I think the meeting was held between the two ministers, railway ministers and the forest ministers last year, where it was decided that protecting the elephant in and along the railway track can be the responsibility and will be the responsibility of railways, and all the expenditure will be incurred by the railway. So one policy decision has been taken. So your concern for raising the fund has already been taken and considered. Yes, the new technology Kavach, if Kavach can be integrated with DAS, DAS is already being implemented in Assam and West Bengal and in many other parts of the country. So definitely it will be a boost and good innovations which can be applicable, practical, and scalable. Thank you. Thanks from my side.
Thank you, sir.
So now we would like to invite team number 9 from CASFOS Dehradun. The team members are Yogesh Kumar, Santosh Meena, and Ravi Kumar. And they will be pitching their solutions for how to prevent wild animals from moving into human habitated areas.
Or Simran, they don't seem to be coming up. So you can go to the next group.
Sir, they are ready. They are ready, sir.
Please tell them we are running short of time.
Team 9, please be brief and concise.
Hello. Good evening, respected jury and my dear friends. So the problem we are addressing today is how do we prevent wild animals from moving into human habitat areas? So a better alternate question can also be ki how can we stop human beings from entering into forest areas? So that would be a better approach than this question. And if we can't stop entering into forest, then we should also not expect that wildlife should also stop coming into human habitat areas. So our approach will be a cumulative approach in which we'll be following many methods, and also like they are being practiced now, and we have tried our best to put our innovations into it. So the 8 ideas will be processing will be this. First will be implementing early warning systems. So like high-tech monitoring units can be set up for tracking wildlife movement and which are approaching near human areas. AI-driven cameras can also be used. Since AI is improving day by day, by AI cameras, it can be read that an animal is in stress or its behavior is changing, which can also provide early warning systems. And also a single point incentivized rescue app can be made and developed, which by which local communities can raise the alarm that any wild animal is moving around, and by that they also can get some monetary benefits out of it. Second is silvicultural practices which can be followed for wildlife. First is we can try to grow some improved varieties inside the forest only. Like there are improved varieties of jackfruit, banana, and all these crops, so that the animal can stop coming out for searching of better availability of food. Second is we need to do some more carrying capacity based studies by which we can try to find out how many animals are there already and how much the forest can support. Third are again already been addressed are biofencing, in which we can use hybrid varieties of chili and citrus plants. And fourth is agroforestry interventions. Now I call my friend for continuing.
So the problem before us is how to prevent wildlife from entering into human habitations. Now, even with the best silvicultural practices and the best wildlife management practices, we cannot completely stop wildlife from entering into human habitation because of some limited inherent problems like the lower productivity of our forest, carrying capacity having exceeded its limit. So what we can do is we can prevent animals from entering into human habitation. We can't do much to prevent them from leaving the forest. So we can come up with an approach of private conservancy, which can be developed on private lands, and that can act as a buffer between protected areas and human habitations. Now, such models have been highly successful in Africa, in Kenya country. In our country, it needs to be giving a promotion. We already have a legislative provision in our Wildlife Conservation Act, which gives recognition to community reserves. So that provision can be utilized to make this approach a successful initiative, and to make community reserves get a wider recognition. We can create awareness about such provision through various platforms like educating the schools, children. The awareness at a higher level will create many opportunities, will make the investors realize that this can also be a field where they can invest. They can invest to create such community reserves, and that can be developed as a revenue model. And to sensitize people from doing such things which leads to the problem, like making people now, because I have taken this example because recently monkey has been descheduled. So the problem of dealing with it has now shifted to the civic authorities. So this has to be highlighted to the municipalities so that they can come up with a solution. And even landfill management has not been effectively dealt, so that attracts herbivores, and that leads to such conflict. So landfill management, like we can deal with it in a way by methods like creating solar fencing, and we will avoid such landfills near human habitations. We can choose sites which are suitable away from human habitations, and such sites can also be solar fenced.
Good afternoon. So the part of the question was also how to prevent animals from entering their habitat. So one solution is that we can reclaim the wastelands or gochar lands from encroachment and enrich them with improved variety of grasses. And we can also provide the pastoralists with improved subsidized feeds, so to prevent their entry into the natural habitat. Next, what we can do is we empower forest department by having the territorial wing also have a shared accountability by providing them with well-equipped SRTs and rescue centers. Also, the forest department should consider having a separate extension wing for engaging with the local communities. So at least the local community is well-equipped, is well informed about the various intervention that the forest department is taking in this regard. Also, we can consider inclusion of HWC under state-specific disaster for shared responsibility, as has been recently done in whether we should consider culling as a last resort option or not. And lastly, I would like to say that the HWC human-wildlife conflict is not a problem that has a single-point solution or one-size-fits-all solution. What we need is a multifaceted approach that combines habitat protection, community engagement, and public awareness. Thank you.
The jury may please ask questions.
You mentioned culling in your presentation. Culling, actually, it's something which is very difficult to implement. And seriously, we thought about it in case of tigers. Actually, the tiger population in the country is only 3,000. But the main problem is not the number, but the problem is that the distribution of this population is very, in some areas, it is the numbers have gone very high. Like in Chandrapur district alone in Maharashtra, we have more than 250 tigers. So that has become a huge problem, what to do about it. and translocation of those animals is not possible because they have grown up in areas which are not exactly national parks and sanctuaries. They have grown, the number has grown outside parks also. So the habit, if we capture them and release them in some other national park or sanctuary, they come out and they again create problems in nearby villages. So this either castration or culling, that again needs to be thought, some serious thought should be given to it also in certain cases where in particular areas the number has risen to alarming proportions.
Yes, sir. That's why we have capped it.
Similarly, in Maharashtra, leopards have. Yes. But the rest, the presentation was good. I think this culling part should be given a serious thought. That is what I wanted to mention.
Yes,
Thank
sir,
you.
that's why we have kept it as an open-ended question, because there are both arguments against and for it. So this is an anthropocentric solution, that it is from human point of view, but is it a long-term solution? See, we cull animals in case of overpopulation, or in case of animal in conflict, but then the question comes, does it provide a long-term solution? What if the source solution, that their habitat destruction is not going away? Then it does not provide a long-term solution, but targeted culling is an option that is worth exploring.
Yeah, Harsimran, can I come in?
Yes, sir. Please come in.
Yeah, while congratulating the team, I must say that they have given a very thought-provoking presentation. But for their understanding, I would like to flag a particular point that whenever we talk about human-wildlife conflict, we tend to talk more about elephants and sometimes tiger and maybe leopard. But there are many other species which creates a lot of conflict. And in fact, there are big four that we consider pan-India. One is elephant, and the other three is wild boar, blue bull, and monkey. So I was keen, any solution being proposed for the other three. One of them, in one of the presentation, I found some kind of solution being proposed for wild boar, but for the rest of the two, I didn't find any solution, and neither did it come up in your presentation. This is number one. Number two, you are talking about culling. In fact, it is an issue. Numbers of wild animal increasing year after year is an issue, but culling may not be the solution. The ministry guys who are attending the meeting today are aware of the fact, even the WII, there was a project which was initiated acknowledging the increase of population. That's called population management of species which are in conflict with humankind. And that was through immunocontraception. So, because in Indian DNA, you just can't pick up a rifle and go and kill an animal. People want, is also one such issue which should be pursued vigorously, because the impact may not be felt now, but over a period of time, the population will show a downward trend. So that is one thing I thought that I would be sharing with the young minds. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Sure.
Sir, I would like
Can
to
I chip in? Please.
Sir, I would like to address your question. Sir, first question was regarding, like landfill management and all also would help in mitigating the human-wildlife conflict with leopards and all. And again, sir, second question regarding culling, we have tried to suggest it, but then, sir, lately, sir, culling have been going on in many states, like even though they are killing it, but sir, it's a type of culling only that farmers are choosing to go beyond the law and trying to kill the animal. So maybe, sir, we cannot address it as culling, but then somehow, sir, it's going on and it's there. Thank you.
Sir, one more thing that I would like to add. So we talked about private conservancies, and I think we think that it has a huge potentiality, because that can create an entire food chain which can incorporate all those animals like nilgai, wild boar, leopards. And in other countries, it has been tried. But in our country, we have recently, we have two examples. Rajaji Rajghati, a 35-acre private conservancy has been created in Shivalik foothills. Similarly, Save India initiative, that is India's first private conservation reserve. So I feel that we can, if we can attract investors so that they find it as a lucrative model, they can invest and they can earn revenue in the form of tourist. Because we have to realize one of the fact that we cannot prevent wildlife animal from leaving protected areas. In Gir forest, around 200 lions, that is around 30% of the population, is outside protected area. So even forest department is thinking that they should come up with conservation reserve, which are which are developed on government land. Similarly, but the idea that we can also think on developing such reserves on private land, and we have a statutory provision to create community reserves in our Wildlife Protection Act. So that needs to be tapped.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, private conservancy was the thought of the day a few years back. Maharashtra was spearheading in India. I think somewhere close to Tadoba was the area where WII along with Maharashtra government was coming up with this idea. So it's a very good idea. In fact, you increase the protected area. In that way, to accommodate more number of animals. That's fine. But that is also a double-edged sword. So it will work in some areas, but it may not work in some other area. But as a model, it can be tried. And I know whether Mahip will be able to throw more light how the private conservancies are at all working in Tadoba or not.
Yeah, yes, actually, there is already a government resolution in place which says that areas nearby protected areas can be taken up as private conservancies, and it is working fine. But I don't think it is making a very huge impact. Where some conservancies have been created, people have given up their area for growth of trees, and they use only part of their area is agricultural fields. The rest of the area they have given for creation of conservancy. It has been created. GR is already in place, but as far as large scale impact is concerned, I don't think it has made a very huge impact. This is what my idea about this is.
So I would like to say that it is still in the initial stage, and we haven't advertised much about that, about its success. So if given a condition which is very conducive for the growth of such conservancies, it has a potentiality. Because in Kenya, 17% of the, I think, geographical land is under private conservancies, and they have been pretty successful in that. But in our country, it is still at a nascent stage. So because we have such people who have wealth and they are even nature conscious people, we only need to bring them on one common platform.
So, since we are running short of time, we have one more thing
Yogi,
left.
sorry.
Sorry, Sunil sir. Since we are running short of time, so we'd like
No,
to.
it was just talking, you mentioning about Africa. In Africa, the model is entirely different. Here, the wildlife is not government on property. So wildlife is roaming a private area, it's its property. And the type of tourism being promoted there is entirely different. The model India is adopting and the approach we have in our conservation. So that may not be possible. Similarly, for this nature conservancy, Maharashtra has tried it, but you see, it may not work at a large scale. Sometime in the garb of this, some private place may come into picture, and they may say that okay, we'll promote ecotourism. But what about the returns to the farmers? So this may also be considered.
Yes, sir. We have to come up with a revenue model that can benefit the locals. If the livelihood can be generated for all, then they will take an interest. We need to work on them. But overall, this will solve the problem on a larger scale. Because we have to accept that wild animals will do move outside the protected areas because of the carrying capacity having got exceeded. So we cannot stop them completely. So where will they go? We have to come up with a solution. Any technology product which can prevent them from entering any device that will not be successful on a larger scale. We have to think on a larger scale to accommodate a huge number of wild animals which are escaping the forest and wild protected areas.
Thank you, team number 9. You may please proceed. So now we invite our last team for today from Casfos Coimbatore. The team members are Shikha Jha and Prakhar Nayak. Casfos Coimbatore.
Sir, are you audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Good evening, sir.
Please start.
Good evening, everyone. I, Prakhar Nayak.
And I, Shikha Jha.
We are going to present on the elephant train collision problem and its preventive solution. Because of shortage of time, we will directly go to solutions. Our major solution is based on AI. We will provide.
One back slide, Ramesh.
Ramesh, one back.
Back slide.
One back. Yeah. Our major solution is based on AI. We will place cameras along the railway tracks, and camera will be transmitting the videos to the server, main server, and server will make photos of that videos in every 20 second or every 30 second as possible. And in that photos they will check the changes in the pixels, so that if any changes is there in pixel and from image database, we can see that if the image changes in the pixel is coming as like a elephant or other animal, the server will alarm the railway department as well as the forest department and send a message to the loco pilot that there is something in front of that track. So you can reduce the speed or you can stop there only. Next slide. We can install B alarms, sounds, and operating it every 10 minutes before the arrival of the train. And we can also include visual signs in for the night time, like flashing of the lights. And we can include that with the AI, that when the server sends a message to the loco pilot and the department, it will directly send the message to the alarm system and the light system, so that at the time of the coming of the elephant in the tracks, that visuals and B alarm system will automatically get on. And we can use advanced warning signs which alert the loco pilot that this is a high accident prone areas. And we can also use the use of Kavach system while automatically restricting the speed of the train in the high accident prone areas. In this, we don't need to do anything. We just need to change the sensors that we have already installed in the cover system. We have to automate it with the loco trains and make it the trains so that it restricts the speed of the train in a high accident prone area. And we can install watchtowers on the accident prone areas in the high accident prone areas.
Sir, we can go for predictive analytics also. In that, what will we do? We'll create data where there is a elephant movement is seen near the tracks, and we can categorize the zones, the accident prone zones into high, medium, and low accident zones. And with the help of AI and machine learning, we can predict the future occurrence of elephants on those areas. And also we can make this database online so that the railway department and forest officials, they can work coordinately with each other. Because what we have read in the newspapers is that there is lack of coordination between the forest department and railway officials. That's why we are not able to come up to a concrete solution. So the adult female elephant, so as we know, the elephants, they move, the female elephants, they move in a herd. So the female elephant can be tracked by using GPS collared, and the real-time data of the herd can be traced. Also, we can create wildlife corridors. This is conventional technique. Other conventional techniques are, we can go for train track modification, also sanitation. We can create elephant-proof trenches and solar fencing along the railway tracks where the accidents have occurred before. Also, we have to sensitize the public that we have to keep our area and the tracks clean so that the elephant don't get attracted towards the tracks. Also, we can go for local daily wages employment, and local watches can also be employed. This can generate employment as well as prevent the accidents of the elephant with train. Also, the main reason for this elephant collision is the embankments, steep embankments on the side of the tracks, and this can be made flattened, or we can use the mud ramps on the embankments, which can lead to the smooth passage. Also, solar power lights can be used on the curves and cuttings for better visibility. Sir, in conclusion, I would like to say that we can't go for a single technique. We can't go for AI or we can't go for a conventional technique for the concrete solution. We have to integrate AI with other conventional methods. Also, we must involve Indian Railways, MOEFCC, forest departments, biologists, engineers to save elephants from fast-moving trains. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Jury members may please proceed with questions.
Yeah, this Kavach system we already discussed in the previous presentation. I think this is a very effective solution. Even in cars today, there is anti-collision devices have been set up. I have a Honda City car which brakes itself if a crash is imminent.
Yes.
When this kind of technology is already available for even for automobiles, why it cannot be used
Yes, sir.
in railways? I am unable to understand. This perhaps will be a very cheap, very good, and very effective solution. This somebody should develop this technology. This is all I want to say. Rest everything which you have said has already been discussed in other presentations, so there is no need to comment on that. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, Harsimran.
Yes, sir. Please come in.
Yeah, because there is paucity of time, I'm just saying thanks and congratulations to the team. It's pretty good. There are a few solutions that they have suggested, and some of them are already spoken of. But I think this is a good presentation. Thank you. That's it.
Okay, just one quick comment. Congratulations on a very good presentation, and my special compliments to you for acknowledging that this is a challenge that needs the engagement with multiple stakeholders. I think you did well to acknowledge that. Thank you and congratulations once again.
Thank you, sir.
Does any other jury member have any question?
I think I would like to add here, DAS with Kavach. DRDO is making the headway in DAS system. If DAS and Kavach can be integrated at the level of DRDO, then it will be a very, very fruitful outcome. So ministry can think on this. DAS is promoting by the ministry with the help of WII, along with the DRDO. So this whole problem can be forced to DRDO. This is my suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So I think the jury members have concluded with their questions. After having heard all the wonderful teams pitching their innovative solutions, I would now like to invite the jury members to give their valuable remarks.
Okay. So do I have the privilege of speaking first?
Sure.
Do it.
With the permission of my dear friend Vibhash.
You do it, sir.
Okay. So I think first of all, I must congratulate to the young officers who have made their presentation. All of them have come up with ideas which perhaps some of them are known to us, but we understand, we discussed many things today, and we have also passed on a few notes for the understanding of the young officer. And it is nice to see that their mind is working and they are thinking about a very serious and alarming situation. Human-wildlife conflict is one of the wildlife issues which actually niggles the entire country. And people who sits in the ministry, so we will vouch for it, Vivash will also vouch for it. In every parliamentary session, there will be umpteen number of questions regarding human-wildlife conflict. So this is an issue that has to be looked into. And most of us who are oldies now have tried many means. And, we have been partially successful. And some we really couldn't really be so successful as we were thinking of. So we need innovative solutions. We need ideas from the young minds. Some of the ideas we learned today. And in fact, we should, I personally should be thanking Jagmohan and his team for not only having us in this particular program, but also to organize this hackathon. In fact, Jagmohan was visiting the office where I'm sitting, the International Big Cat Alliance, And we were discussing that this is a very good exercise that they have started. And he has also vouched that he will be continuing with the process. And this kind of event aims to generate innovative, practical solutions, which can be finally integrated with the real-time situations. And I'm really thankful to Jagmohan if he's listening. And I would be very happy to share more experiences in the future. And in fact, this for me, it was a pleasant experience. And I wish all the young officers who are going to go back to their cadre, that they should equip themselves properly. And because this is one of the issues that they will be facing in the cadre, especially to the elephant states of India. And I know Maharashtra is also having lots of problem regarding leopard, tiger. So these are the situations that the forest officers have to really face in the field situations. So I'm very happy that the minds are working. Now, if you have the inputs, training, proper training, so once you land up in your cadre, you will be able to execute and handle the situations more practically and more pragmatically. So that is my wish, which actually is with you all. And I would also like to thank my colleagues, Vibhash, Mahir, Samir, and Ruchi Badola ji for their presence. Nice to see them after some time. And in fact, their inputs were also very enriching, not only to me, but definitely it will be enriching to the young probationers and the officers who are being trained. So that's it. And I believe to Harsimran and Jagmohan, I've already given numbers and sent WhatsApp to Sarita Devi. So my job I've already taken care of. So that's it. And you in the future. Thank you.
Now, let me take a chance. Mahim.
Yeah, please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead.
Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for inviting me as a jury. I think it was a meaningful discourse. It's an innovative discourse for finding a new and innovative solutions of the problems which are readily being faced by the foresters. Elephant and tigers are not the only two animals where the conflict are there. Even a pack of 6 wolves in UP has created a massacre and ultimately led to the 16 casualty in the states. Mind it, in a span of only 1 month. So any wild animals, any conflict leads to a very social unrest. New ideas, new challenges, through new thinking is the only solutions in my opinion. And one thing I would like to place on records to all the participants from the CASPOS, IGNFA, FRA, problem never comes to you as a known problem. I have never faced any problem which was known to me during my 35 years of career. All the wildlife conflict problem was faced by me was completely unknown to me. And new challenges always leads to a new path. So I again wish all the teams, alert minds, new thinking, out of box ideas will help you in future. And let me once again congratulate IGNFA and the team of Jagmohanji for a wonderful beginning to find out the ideas, messages, interactions, and new thinking that will lead to the finality. Thank you. Thanks again to all the jury members also from my side.
I would request Mahib sir to please give his
Yeah.
remarks.
I'll speak a few words. Actually, man-animal conflict in Maharashtra has reached alarming proportions. Last 2 years, when I was Chief Wildlife Warden of Maharashtra, thankfully I'm retired now, so no more problems. But the last 2 years have been very, very difficult for me. Perhaps the most difficult in my entire career. Be it tigers in Chandrapur, which are killing humans like anything. 250 tigers, even more than that. 250 is the figure which is only of adult tigers. Cubs, if you add cubs, it is more than 350. and every day some human being is being killed or injured. So you can imagine the kind of backlash we face from the public and the politicians. Similarly, in the central part of Maharashtra, Pune, Nasik, Ahmednagar districts, they have a huge leopard population. Leopards are being added every year as per the WI data they have given for 2018 and 2022. So you can imagine the kind of problems which we are facing, and these are not the only two. Elephants are also there. They are creating havoc. Then there is monkey menace in Kolhapur and many areas of Maharashtra. So something needs to be thought about it. Some serious thought is needed to be given for that. There is no doubt about it. So this is a very good beginning, I would say. There should be a series of workshops like this so that some solutions can be finalized. About the presentations, they were wonderful, no doubt about it. But the teams, what they have tried to do is they have tried to incorporate everything which they could think of. But in my opinion, if you think about one particular solution and go in deep and talk about it in detail, for example, a team discussed about the barriers which will come out every time a train passes. So they should have focused only on that solution and on a very deep in that and should come up with everything, how much it will cost, how much, but because if you try to incorporate everything in a 5-minute presentation, then you are not able to deal in detail one particular thing which needed more focus. But anyway, all the presentations were very good. I enjoyed it, and I thank Jagmohan for organizing, for inviting us, organizing this event, and inviting us. And we hope more of these more of these these events will happen in future. Thank you very much.
My request to Sameer Sinha, sir, to kindly share his valuable remarks.
Thank you. First of all, a huge round of congratulations and compliments for all the participants. I think you did beautifully. And it's good to see young minds looking in all directions, exploring new ideas, new approaches. And all of you deserve a huge round of applause for the efforts that you put in. Just one word of caution. While the presentations were being made, all of us from the jury, and we were talking about, this is the scale of the problem. Do you really think this is going to make a difference? My advice to you is, when you work in the field, do not get deterred by the size of the problem, because a very long journey begins with a single step. So even if Lantana is 44% across the country, and I'm making a small pilot project that spreads over only a few hectares or so, that is still a beginning. So please let not the size of the problem deter us even before the journey has begun. I think with you people at the helm of affairs in the years to come, we will certainly move forward very positively in mitigation of human-wildlife conflict. I compliment Dr. Jagmohan Sharma and his entire team, Sarita, Harsimran, and everybody who's been involved in making this hackathon possible. My huge compliments and gratitude. Once again, thank you and best wishes.
Thank you, sir. I now request Sunil Sharma, sir, to please share his remarks.
Thank you, Asminder. First of all, I'd like to congratulate that IGNFA for organizing this event. Let me share the background of this event. Actually, it was thought of in a standing committee meeting that a hackathon should be organized. It was decided by the Honorable Minister itself that we should explore the minds of young officers, that they should come with some solution. So whole intent was that, and taking that, because this time Wildlife Week is celebrated at national level, so IGNF has organized that, and they have executed it so well, involving other institutes. So one good thing which I observed was that all the presenters were aware of what is happening in the field, and they are aware of the quantum of the problem and the technology that's already been used. So that is quite, I think, say it's appreciable thing. Secondly, when we thinking of a problem, actually we need to study why this problem is there and why we has not been able to resolve that problem. And in some presentation, it was rightly hit. Like sir mentioned that we need not go for all the aspects in the presentation. Hackathon when is organized, we just look for a single solution. That this solution we can take it to next level. We can try it at a pilot level, and then we can scale it up. So moreover, the human wildlife conflict, because all my seniors, all my mentors are there. I have worked with both the ADG wildlife. Gupta sir is my senior academic, and Sandeep sir, Samir Sinha sir is a stalwart in the wildlife conservation. So it was a good beginning, and I thank the entire team who have worked behind this. And many congratulations to all the participants who have actively participated in this. And I think it's a good beginning, and we can keep this benchmark and may organize many more in the coming time. So good luck from my side.
Thank you, sir. I now request Ruchi Badola ma'am to share her valuable remarks.
Thank you. I think it was a very, very interesting experience, and I am very grateful to IGNFA too for having involved me in this whole interesting session. For me, it was, I think it is a most apt run up to the celebration of the Wildlife Week, connecting people and planets, and of course, exploring digital innovations in wildlife conservation. So I think the themes that were decided were very, very apt. How to ensure that the wildlife, the societal acceptance for conservation comes, and one of the biggest hindrances being the human wildlife conflict. And what a challenge it is to the managers. And for me, having this eminent panel of juries, the managers who are very well experienced, was a learning experience in itself. And I think it was a great learning for the participants as well, from the comments that were received by the eminent jury. So while some of the presentations were totally focusing on one aspect, there were some which were looking very, very comprehensive and looking at various aspects. While it is important that in a hackathon we concentrate on one solution, I think the scales of the problems are such that none of the team could have been satisfied with just focusing on a single, solution. And definitely, there is no one size fits all. We need a different solution, different combinations of solutions in different parts of the country and for different species. So I think we really need to document these solutions that have come up, and probably we go to a stage 2 where the teams are asked to dwell deeper in solutions that they have derived. But please, top 2 or 3 teams would be asked to dwell deeper in the next 2-3 months and come up with a concept note or a white paper, which could then be shared, with the ministry or with the states. So, and this process, of course, should be continued, looking at various aspects or on similar dimensions. It is wonderful experience. Thank you all, and thank you IGNFA for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to each and every one of the eminent jury members. So we now come to the conclusion of this program. So what an insightful and wonderful session we all had. Although we must admit that there were some communication problems in the beginning, but despite that, each team did its best. So my heartfelt thanks and appreciation to all the teams for participating so enthusiastically despite various challenges. As you all know, the top 3 teams, as deemed fit by jury members, will be recognized during a prestigious national level event on 5th of October 2024 at Wildlife Institute of India. In addition to the awards, the winning solutions will be further considered for development and integration into conservation practices across India. Finally, I would like to thank Director IGNFA for showing us the way to come up with this program and designing the overall modalities along with his team. My heartfelt thanks are due to all jury members who took out time from their busy schedules to listen to the young innovators and guide them further. Thanks are due to faculty members of IGNFA, FRI and CASFOS for sparing their valuable time and gracing this occasion. Appreciation is also due for all the IFS probationers, officer trainees from CASFOS, and students from FRI deemed university for being a wonderful and patient audience. I would also like to thank the IT team, academic cell, and their state team for their contribution towards the successful conduct of the program. With the permission of the eminent jury members, we bring this event to a close. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sminder.
Thank you.